it was great. It was amazing. It was not what I expected it to be.
Right.
And it should have been. Because it's exactly what was advertised.
Yeah.
But you see RuPaul parentheses DJ set. And it's like, is Ru like doing a performance with a DJ? Or is it like Ru going to be in drag? Is Ru DJing like her own music? And it's no, just RuPaul, bald as hell,
tall as hell,
taller than hell, standing on stage and he's just mixing, he's mixing like, and it was old, like, 60s, 70s R&B, the stuff that he really likes, that he's always really liked and kind of talked about being inspired by. Like Pointer Sisters and Aretha Franklin. It was really, really good music taste.
Yeah.
I realize that we probably need to specify, because as confused as we were, the audience is probably just as confused.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who are jumping in on this episode for the first time, and they don't know that last week we talked about the good chance that we were going to be at Universal Studios Orlando for their Mardi Gras event to see RuPaul parentheses DJ set
work shed. Here's the thing. If somebody hops in on this episode, I'm crazy confused, because like I believe that doing this franchise is the death knell of our show. I think that we're going to hit a download drought, and I don't think there's any saving it. And so, but if somebody comes in on 3, they're like, I don't really care for 1 and 2, but 3, it's like, well, that person I don't want listening to my show. I don't care what my show is about.
They only watch the 3s.
Yeah, they watched the 3rd episode of each of the seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race, which is why this conversation's interesting. But if you missed it, my birthday was towards the end of the month of February, and at the same time we were blessed being Universal annual pass holders. We got to go to their Mardi Gras concert series where we saw DJ RuPaul.
Yeah.
And it was astounding.
It really was.
It was. I don't do music consumption like that very often. I will go to concerts, but I've only seen maybe a couple DJs, but it was only in the happenstance of I was somewhere that there was a DJ at. Yeah. I've never, like, I know that people like go out of their way.
Yeah.
It's like, it is like their own kind of concert. So this was definitely something that was interesting. But man, it was loud as fuck.
Yeah, but honestly, because it wasn't, obviously an outside venue and whatnot. Yeah, I wasn't deafened. Yeah, like that night or the next day.
There were a couple moments where it was like I could kind of feel my chest bones rattle a tattling.
As the night went on and we kind of like slowly shifted forward, like you tend to at shows like that. And so, it got a bit louder as we got closer, but it also, like, I don't know, the energy was really good.
It was great.
The people around us were, all pretty cool from what I could tell.
Yeah. My favorite thing that I saw any member of the crowd with was somebody, like maybe 2 or 3 rows of people in front of us had a baseball cap that was RuPaul's Drag Race Live from Vegas, and it just said, "And don't fuck it up." And it's like, nice. I love that. Yeah. So I stole it.
Well, yeah,
it's my birthday. I'm allowed to.
Yeah. You can steal basically whatever you want on your birthday,
but only once. You can do one theft on your birthday, and I should have done a grand theft. Should have stolen the Ghostbusters car from the back lot, but instead
you got that hat, and it looks sharp on you.
Oh,
let me tell you.
Yeah, I replaced the Candyman suit for the Leprechaun RuPaul's Drag Race hat.
Yeah. Funny that that happens to be from the Vegas show.
Yeah,
because
I didn't even think about that. God
I thought you were doing a segue.
No, not even. I just happened to notice. But yeah, it was. The show was broken into kind of 2 like ping pong pieces where she would be behind her DJ booth and would be spinning and singing and laughing, and every so often she had a live mic and she'd pick it up and she'd say something like, like "Sissy That Walk," or like "If You Can't Love Yourself," and we were like, yeah. And it was so funny because every time she would start talking, the roar, you couldn't hear what the fuck she was saying. And then, so that's what most of the show was. And then every so often, she would just turn on her heel, walk down the steps, and wearing this insane lime green,
like leopard print almost.
It looked polka dot.
Yeah.
It was just like a lime green and black suit with like a black tank top and these giant white like speed racer goggle glasses. And yeah, RuPaul would just walk around the DJ booth and he'd just fucking get it. He'd just dance and like point at people. And it was like for like 2 minutes.
Yep.
And then turn back around and go back up.
You're like, oh, I need to beat mix this into the next thing. Hold on.
Did you also notice? And it's funny because RuPaul's a bit older, probably somewhere in the 60s, I would imagine.
Sure.
Did you notice the stack of loose copy paper?
Oh, yeah.
Of the set list?
Because
it's like, well, you could cue it all and program it all, but I'm in my motherfucking 60s. I'm just going to look at the paper that I probably hand wrote. Do you think those glasses were like real glasses?
Oh, yeah. Those were readers.
I can't DJ without me peepers. Hello and welcome back to Me Third Channel podcast,
where we delve into the horror franchises you love from the perspectives of a lifelong horror fan
and a newbie to me genre. I'm the laddie Beans Morocco,
and I'm Derek.
And today, the only thing we're here to talk about is horror. Today's horror is how bad a movie can be.
You think so?
It puts the horror in horrible. We're here to talk about cult, not even a cult classic, Leprechaun 3.
Yep.
I wish it had a subtitle, and I wish that subtitle was Leprechaun 3, Crock of Shit.
Yeah, we don't. Oh, that's good.
Thank you.
We don't get a subtitle till the next one.
Yeah, and I hate it.
Oh, you do?
That it's lost in space. Yeah, buckle up, folks. Third Channel Podcast is venturing back out into space next week. Before we begin, I have 3 pieces of rapid fire housekeeping.
Okay.
First bit of rapid fire housekeeping. I am still a little ill. I'm still a little under the weather. You're going to hear a lot of coughing, and I'm not apologizing to you.
No.
Or anyone else. Or the banks, for that matter.
What have they done for us?
Not a thing. War, and banks. What is it? Whatever. Yeah. The second bit of housekeeping is... what are we talking about next week?
Well,
yeah,
we teased it a couple weeks ago.
We did a little tease.
We were like, the Leprechaun franchise has a bunch of entries, and most of them are not our favorites.
No.
So we thought, well, maybe we'll do a little teaser in the middle. We'll palate cleanse a little bit in the middle,
right? With
something that clearly we're gonna love.
Something that there's no. I mentioned this to you when we saw this film that we're about to talk about. I mentioned this to you walking away from the theater. I said, listening back to our oldest episodes, we talk about the fact that this movie will come out. That when it does, we'll review it and we'll talk about it. And I said, besides, good news. I mean, there's no way it's going to be bad.
Yeah, it's a franchise that's never had a bad entry
until today.
Well, yeah, we're gonna, and I know there's some controversy here, and we'll go all over it in this episode next week when we talk about Scream 7.
Yeah, more like I screamed 7 times.
But for those who basically, it just came out. For those who are not boycotting and are going to actually see it or want to get a chance to see it, we're giving you a couple weeks to do so. And then we will be discussing it in the way that we normally do, with plenty of spoilers and breakdowns and all that good stuff.
Correct.
And I mean, we're going to break down.
Yeah. Well, we're also going to break down how we were able to watch this movie without suffering the slings and arrows of social guilt, and what we've done to make the world a better place as a result of feeling bad about this.
And we hope you'll join us, but we'll go over that.
Yes. And more next week. And finally, our most important piece of housekeeping, in my opinion, I am tired. I'm on cold medicine. And I'm, I have a bad sleep schedule anymore. So you guys might hear two noises. The first noise is you might hear me take an off-mic NPR sip of a Monster Energy. The second thing is, listen out for this noise, folks. I bought a bag of gummies.
Yeah.
I'm not weed gummies.
No.
I already ate a bag of weed gummies.
Wink.
And I'm overdosing on legally edible pot. No, I might eat a gummy covered in sour sugar here and there to try to stay awake. Yeah. I got to be up to talk to you guys about Leprechaun 3.
People are clamoring for it. They want to know about what we think of Leprechaun 3, Leprechaun in Vegas. Have you ever been to Vegas?
No, I haven't.
I have.
And from what I understand, you enjoyed your time there.
Yeah. It was a very brief bit of time that I had in Vegas. Going back several years, it was like 2017, 2018, I believe. I took an odd job where I worked out west. And the end of that trip was we flew back here from Vegas. And so we had like about a day.
Okay.
Not even a full 24 hours. But and on our trip there, on our drive there, I like Googled like, what's some free stuff you can do in Vegas? Because none of us wanted to gamble. None of us wanted to do anything. And we didn't have time for like the things that I would want to do in Vegas, go to shows, things like that.
Like RuPaul Live.
Yeah. Or any magician that I could find.
Like my grandpa.
Yeah.
He wasn't
especially
out there,
your grandfather, though. I want to see him perform at the Sphere.
Okay. He is very retired.
Well, he's going to come out of retirement for me, for my birthday.
He's retired and he's really tired of your bullshit.
But yes, barring any of those things that I wanted to do, it was like, okay, what's some like free, just things, kind of kitschy things we can go and do. And so I found some list that it was, here's the top 5 things to do. And it basically sent us to Fremont Street. Like the old strip.
Interesting.
And which is funny because that's where this takes place through most of it, I believe. The little bit that we actually get to see Vegas. But yeah, we did just a couple little things here and there. There's a couple slot machines that are like free. You get one pull on it. There's a giant Buddha statue that you can go and rub his belly for luck.
How did that pan out?
Well, then I did my 2 spins on the things that I could do for free, and I didn't win anything. So, but it cost me nothing. So,
okay, it's a wash for luck. Yeah.
But yeah, and then it was mainly just sitting in the airport waiting on our flight, and then watching people get off of planes and walk directly to the slot machines that are in the airport terminal.
Those are the people that live there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got back and they were like, "Oh, my gambling addiction is burning like a wildfire. if I don't run across this airport and get a Cinnabon and begin gambling, I'm gonna get the shakes." It
was pretty much that.
That's a terrifying thing.
But I would love to go back.
Yeah. I would like to go just in general. I think it's a fascinating place. It's another place that's like, we talked about New Orleans with Candyman, and it is where I love the sort of environment and the way that the city feels of New Orleans. Las Vegas is the opposite for me. I understand it, that it's a one-of-a-kind place. There's nowhere in the world like it. But I also think it reeks of indoor cigarettes and sleaze.
Oh, it mostly does that.
Yeah.
There was this one bar this casino that we went into, and they had an original piece of the Berlin Wall.
Okay.
In the bathroom, built into a urinal, so you could piss onto the Berlin Wall.
Okay, that's really funny.
That was the whole thing. Which, speaking of, another piece of the Berlin Wall is next to Hard Rock Cafe at Universal Studios City Walk.
Yeah, see, we have done it. We have in every way linked everything we've ever talked about into each other. Yeah. It is an ever-spinning web of snakes eating themselves. We are the best at this, guys.
That's how my brain works because of all the holes that are in there.
Yeah, and if you're ever going to gamble, If that's the thing that may have interested you in some point in your life, if you're going to gamble, instead of gambling, what we recommend you do is recognize how good we are at this. Scroll down the description of this episode, find the link to donate to the show, and give us all of the money that you would gamble because you're gambling on us now. And let me tell you, folks, better return on investment, because at least when you pay for our whatever, us to have fun, or you can pay for us to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
And then we'll gamble your money for you.
But we're going to triple it.
No.
Oh.
We are, you know what? Yes, we're going to triple it. Okay. We're going to triple it.
Triple's the safest.
Because 3 is also the same amount of leprechauns there are Leprechaun 3.
Wow.
There are times where I can really just go right, but this one wasn't it. Welcome to Vegas. The odds are you won't leave alive. It was a normal night in Las Vegas, Nevada. All the lights were this is insanely long. Holy shit. All the lights were flashing brightly until a man with one hand, one eye, and one leg walks into a pawn shop with a statue of a hidden looking leprechaun. Sorry, it is so long. I'm having to scan through this with a statue of a hideous looking leprechaun. The owner claims it's a good luck charm. The statue also wore a medallion around its neck. The careless pawn shop owner took off the medallion, setting the leprechaun free. Ellipses. And that's the whole summary. It's just the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. What an odd
way
that's
of really weird.
And also for it to be that long and then tell us nothing.
Yeah.
It's like just have it say like the leprechaun wakes up again in Vegas, terrorizing a new group of people who tried to steal his gold.
You know, I think I might hate this summary as much as I hate the movie. But I feel like I need to say this because I say that, but my Letterboxd is a publicly viewable thing, and we advertise it on this show. So I need to address something. I gave this movie the years ago that we watched this. Right. I gave this movie 2.5 stars.
Yeah, I think so did I.
And here's what I've realized about myself. I have changed in the way I consume media.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this briefly, I think either last week or a couple weeks ago, that it used to be something that I would just kind of resonate with. Like, am I having fun doing this? Do I enjoy it just kind of generally? Now, because that's not why I'm watching these, I'm taking them so much more personally. It's like I have so little time now. And the movies that I do watch that aren't for the show, I'm so fucking picky with now, because I know that most of it. So like this week, it's like, well, I could have seen, this or that. I could have watched Predator Badlands because it just started streaming and I'd love to watch that. But no, instead of watching Predator Badlands tonight, I watched this fucking hunk of shit. And so then I have to try to position it in my head of like, okay, well, if it's a positive experience for me, how many stars worth of positive experience is it? But if it's a negative experience, how negative do I feel towards it? Okay. And 2.5 stars, all those, because that's the first time I saw this movie, which
a couple years ago.
Yeah, we've talked. This whole franchise is going to be the same story every week. We watched them a couple years ago.
Yep.
Wow, what a difference those years have made. Because now I'm just quaking in my boots with anger.
Yeah. Yeah, he joined like an old Quaker group,
I guess. I'm doing like,
he's very religious now is what I'm saying.
I'm doing like old Prospector cartoon cussing where it's like fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what those guys were saying, by the way. When you ever hear somebody doing that, they're just going fucking Leprechaun 3, fucking bullshit. Warwick Davis isn't even really good in this one. God damn it.
Yeah. Not my favorite.
No.
I think I liked it less on these rewatches than my original time watching it.
I tell you what, though, here's what I'm going to say on this one. The only watching this movie is just the slog. It's obnoxious and confusing, and there's so many threads, and it almost becomes worth it at the end because the end is hilarious.
Oh yeah,
the end is. And I don't know how hilarious it was meant to be, but it is. It's so crazy.
This is where they really start just leaning into, we're making a live action cartoon. This is supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
The problem is with this one for me is that you don't have a Morty character.
No.
And like, I don't really care about any of the people in this.
No, I don't give a shit about any of them. And there's also not a lot of horror in it.
No,
people don't
you've
really
got some,
die.
You've got some body horror going on, but besides that,
it's like a couple of examples. But like, you don't get to your first kill for a while,
for at least half an hour, because it's the first guy that he shows up to, but then he just taunts for most of it, and they hang out and like drink whiskey together for a bit.
Well, no, he pours himself a glass of whiskey, and the leprechaun has the rest of his whiskey.
We'll eventually get to good movies again.
Will we?
Or maybe you out there, you love these sorts of things, or at least you love hearing the pain in our voice as we cover them.
We should do a poll.
Yes.
Of like, do you prefer when we talk about good movies or shitty movies? And just see how overweighed the shitty movie vote is. Because that's the feedback that I keep getting. Is I'm like, yeah, and it sucks because we have to talk about this fucking movie that we hate. And we always just like, those episodes are just so painful. And people are like, no, those are the funny ones. It's like, you guys lose your minds.
Yeah, man, we get loose.
So what the fuck's wrong with our audience that they're like, no, keep having terrible days?
Yeah, they don't like us.
Oh, then this is a win-win.
Yeah. I don't like us.
I like me.
Leprechaun 3 was released June 27th of 1995. It's directed by Brian Trenchard-Smith, an abbreviated name. It's written
it's just
by...
because you're so bad at last names. You have to say that so people don't think that you thought there was a huge pause in his name for some reason.
Written by David Dubois, I believe is how you would pronounce it.
Dubois.
Sure. It's produced by Jeff Joffre and Walter Jostin and Henry Segerman.
Every single one of those. Okay.
They're all pronounced properly. I promise.
This is not important at all. In The Dark Knight, there is a moment where Batman is talking to Harvey Dent, who's got, what is it, David Dashlmain, I think is his name?
Dismalchin,
okay. And it's his character.
Oh, yeah.
And Batman says, his name is Schiff Tomless. He's a paranoid schizophrenic. But it sounds like the way Christian Bale delivers that line, it sounds like he's making his name up on the spot. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
He's like, his name is Schiff Tomless. Like, that's what all of those names just sounded like. Is you didn't have any real notes, so you just made up a bunch of Jeff Joffre.
Spelled with a G, of course.
Yeah, of course. The stupid way.
The cinematographer is David Lewis, who is also the cinematographer on Wes Craven's The Hills Have Eyes Part 2. Not very good.
I haven't seen it.
Night of the Demons 1 and 2 from 88 and 94. The Weird Al Yankovic movie, UHF.
What?
A 1990 film called Night Angel that was directed by Dominique Othenin-Girard, who was the director on Halloween 5. They were also the cinematographer on Leprechaun 4, Children of the Corn 5, and then 22 episodes of Pee-wee's Playhouse and the Pee-wee's Playhouse Christmas special.
Cute.
The editor is Daniel Duncan, who was the editor on Witchboard 1 and 2, Night of the Demons 1, 2, and 3, Pinocchio's Revenge from 1996, I Spit on Your Grave, the 2010 remake.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Maybe I should have put a longer pause there. I don't know.
It's like, yeah, he worked on Rumpelstiltskin, then he made a couple of snuff films. It's like, holy shit.
Well, and then, of course, he followed that up with Poseidon Rex in 2013 and Blood Lake, Attack of the Killer Lampreys, which is an asylum film.
Okay, bad.
Yeah, the budget for this movie was a little less than what it was for Leprechaun 2.
Okay.
It's $1.2 million. Now, I have no box office to give you because as we gave away last week, this one went straight to video.
Yes.
Leprechaun 3 was released direct-to-video by Vidmark Entertainment, but then it went on to become the highest-selling independent direct-to-video film of 1995, selling 55,000 units.
That's fucking insane.
Everybody and their mother owns this movie.
Everybody and their mother except for the leprechaun's mother,
who
he at one point I think calls like a greedy lass.
Yeah. Disappointed.
What an asshole. Talking about his own mom like that.
Director Brian Trenchard-Smith had directed the action film in 1975 called The Man from Hong Kong. That was his directorial debut, if I'm not mistaken. He did a movie called Frog Dreaming, which was an 86 family film starring Henry Thomas. You know Henry Thomas by name?
No.
Oh, he's Elliot in E.T.
Oh, so the dad in Hill House.
Yeah. And then he also directed Dead End Drive-In in 1986, which is a dystopian action film. Something called Out of the Body, an 88 supernatural thriller. Night of the Demons 2 in 94. He would also go on to then direct Leprechaun 4 in 96. A sci-fi film called Arctic Blast in 2010. Drive Hard in 2014, which is a like buddy action movie with John Cusack and Thomas Jane.
I like both of those guys.
Yeah. The writer, David Dubois, wrote something called The Roommate, which was a short film that was used in a horror anthology called Future Shock in 1994.
Okay.
He also wrote Spy School in 2008, which is a family comedy starring Anna Sophia Robb, Ryder Strong from Cabin Fever and Boy Meets World, and Leah Thompson from Back to the Future.
Okay.
And then Bayou Tales, a 2019 horror film that he also directed.
Now, I've been told that the Bayou is down south New Orleans.
It is.
Man, we do a lot of New Orleans stuff on this show.
Yeah, we
Pretty
like
soon
it.
the Third Channel podcast is just going to be called Florida Lee Podcast, and we're going to be all about NOLA.
Producers Jeff Joffrey and Walter Jostin, they were, I guess, were a producing team because they were the producers on Night of the Demons 1, 2, and 3, Night Angel, Witchboard 1, 2, and 3, Pinocchio's Revenge, Leprechaun 4, Children of the Corn 5, and Children of the Corn 666.
Yo.
The other producer, Henry Segerman, was the executive producer on Witchboard 2, Night of the Demons 2, a 94 horror film called The Paperboy, and then was a producer on a sci-fi action film from 95 called Evolver, and Progeny from 98, which is a sci-fi horror film directed by Brian Yuzna, which is a name we will be talking about in a couple of months, who directed something else.
Okay. What I want to say really quickly is that as you continue to talk about these things, it is also important to note, because like I said earlier, how it sounded like you were making up all those names on the spot. It is also fair to point out it sounds like you're making up most of these names on the spot, which is why you keep saying like Night of the Demons 1 and 2, because it's like, oh, fuck, what did I just say? Because you're like pulling the bullshit, because there's no way any of this is real.
Oh, no, they are.
God damn
Unfortunately.
it. God damn it. And in fucking 2028, tune in for us to talk about Night of the Demons 1 through 8.
Night of the Demons 1's pretty good. I haven't seen the others.
Oh, I'm sure there's 15.
There's at least 3. And then probably a remake somewhere.
I gotta be honest, guys. I think I'm starting to hate the horror movies.
Yeah. The music is done by Dennis Michael Tenney, who had done the music for Witchboard 1 and 2, Night of the Demons 1, 2, and 3.
You're not even reading anything.
Pinocchio's
You're just
Revenge,
looking around.
Leprechaun 4.
Okay, well, that one's real.
And then had done ADR recordings for Ghoulies 4.
I wonder if he was one of the ghoulies.
Hopefully.
I'm sure he was.
So yeah, not a ton of production notes, but remember last week whenever I was like, they originally were going to shoot Leprechaun 3 right after Leprechaun 2, and they were going to be more tied together. Basically, they were going to follow the mostly scrapped plot of Leprechaun 2, where Ian survived, and then there were more characters that got cut out for the rewrites and reshoots and everything. So the working title was The Trial of the Leprechaun, and that was set to be filmed directly after what they were then calling Bride of Leprechaun, which would be Leprechaun 2. And it was planned to be half the budget of Bride. Warwick Davis, his role was going to be greatly reduced, as other actors would be playing the leprechaun as he inhabited their bodies. So it was going to be kind of like
a Jason Goes to Hell.
Yes.
Okay.
So at the end of what would have been Bride of Leprechaun, after the leprechaun is blown up, his spirit inhabits Ian, who is on the verge of dying. And then he loses most of his abilities as a result of losing his original body. So then this movie, Trial of the Leprechaun, would have started with Bridget and Cody outside the leprechaun's lair after that finale. And then the police arrive. They arrest Cody for the murders of all the people that the leprechaun killed. Bridget tries to tell the police the truth, but they don't believe her. So she looks for a lawyer and fails. So then they end up being forced to go to trial with a public defender. And the case goes sideways as Ian appears alive as the star witness, claiming that he watched Cody kill all those victims. So then Bridget goes to a shaman and learns a spell that will cause supernatural beings to reveal themselves. So then the next time they're in court, she does that spell. The leprechaun spirit comes out of Ian's body and takes over a police officer who then shoots a bunch of people. But then, God. I mean, you can't believe that, right?
Well, especially nowadays, it's really dark.
Yeah.
It's like, and then the leprechaun has a mass shooting happen. And it's like, Jesus.
Yeah, in a courtroom. And then Cody and Bridget escape. And they basically, Cody figures out through a bunch of shit that the leprechaun is very weak, and that if Bridget performs that spell again, it is sure to kill him. And so the most that we would see Warwick Davis was in the scene where he and Cody are like physically fighting over the control of his body. And then Bridget would do the spell, saving Ian, but the leprechaun would then drag Cody to hell with him. And the final scene would be Cody making a deal with the leprechaun to escape hell and go back to Earth.
Okay.
That's the movie we could have gotten.
Okay. What I will say is, what if that happened, but they kept everything from the second movie anyway, and then the leprechaun dies and possesses Ian's body, but Ian's face has been hacked apart by a lawnmower. So fucking the leprechaun inhabits his body and he's just screaming, I have no face, but I must scream.
I have no chili dogs.
but why won't you let me inside? Unironically, that's infinitely better.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that sounds like an infinitely better movie. Come on, Lionsgate.
Well, instead, after optioning a spec script of his own to Blue Rider Productions, screenwriter David Dubois was given an opportunity to pitch for Leprechaun 3. Would you believe he had not seen the previous two Leprechaun
films?
films?
I would believe that. Yes, I would believe that, yes.
He was only given the guideline of, quote, Leprechaun in Las Vegas for his pitch. And so he won against 6 other writers, and then he had to quickly put a script together because of the impending production start date. Isn't that good? Whenever we have a start date to start shooting, but we don't have a script written?
Yeah, I guess.
Works out well.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, famously, look at Game of Thrones. Because they were like, George, we need to know what the story is. And he's like, just make it up.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care anymore.
He's like, hey, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to just make it up. So why don't you do it?
Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to sit here in this stupid little hat. So you figure it out.
And then I'll just write what you did.
Give me $15 million to buy $15 million worth of these stupid little hats. No. Well, then you're not getting your book. That's what happened, but it was Leprechaun.
Right.
And Mr. Dubois he's wanted a bunch of fountain tip pens. But like $10 million worth.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you go through a bunch of them writing scripts like this.
Yeah. Fucking keep setting the page on fire because it's so good.
So good. Brian Trenchard-Smith was selected to direct the film. Okay, this is a weird fact, but it will have a payoff.
Okay.
He's originally from England, and he first came to the U.S. the morning after Senator Robert F. Kennedy was assassinated.
This pays off in this conversation?
Has a payoff, baby.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. When he came on for the film, he looked at the other Leprechaun movies as, quote, fine pieces of work on their own, but they lacked enough Leprechaun. So he thought the Leprechaun was more funny than scary. So he and a writing partner kind of rewrote the script as more of a comedy. Trimark Pictures originally intended for this to be the final film in a trilogy of Leprechaun movies. However, after this did so well in video sales, they figured they could pocket more money from the franchise through straight-to-video market, and they greenlit Leprechaun 4 almost immediately, which then he would also go on to direct. So the film was shot over the course of 14 days.
Jesus.
In Los Angeles, California, for the most part. They could only afford a single night of shooting on location in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's why they just run back and forth across the street 50,000 fucking times in this movie, because they're like, run back. Okay, now go again.
You did it too fast. Hold on. You got to really stretch this out. We want to hit 95 minutes.
Somebody off to the side is like, well, I mean, we could slow the film down in post. And they turn around, they're running across again. We need 50 takes of this. It's all we have.
Which basically meant that the scenes of the Leprechaun walking around the Vegas Strip were mostly shot without permits.
Fantastic.
They were apparently denied permission from the Golden Nugget Casino to shoot both inside and outside of the building.
Makes sense.
But they shot outside the casino anyway.
Good.
So that they could make their little joke.
Yeah.
During that one night of guerrilla filmmaking, bystanders would also ask if they were shooting a Leprechaun movie currently and that they wanted to be in it. So the director let them, telling them that they should just let Warwick walk past them and not look at him. But then, like in the scenes where Warwick would put his thumb out to hitch a ride, cars would actually stop and try and pick him up, even though they were supposed to just keep driving.
What if they kidnapped him?
Yeah,
that would have been a movie. That's a movie.
The movie.
Yeah.
Due to the very low budget, no sets were built for this film. All interior shots, including everything inside the Lucky Shamrock Casino, the pawn shop, the hospital, they were all filmed in the old abandoned Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles, California. Now, that hotel was a hotspot for years, hosting a lot of celebrities, entertainers, and presidents. And the morgue scenes were shot in the kitchen of the Ambassador Hotel, it has a historically significant site, as that's the area where Senator Robert F. Kennedy was assassinated on June 6th of 1968.
So he leaves the day that man is assassinated in the kitchen of a then defunct hotel, just to come back a year later.
No, he moved to the States the day after Kennedy was assassinated there at that hotel. And it was a hotel at the time.
Okay.
That's in 68.
Understood.
Then just shy of 30 years later, they're shooting this movie in that hotel.
What a strange series of coincidences that led us to a hunk of flaming garbage.
You might be wondering what Warwick Davis's thoughts on this film are. So
I wasn't, but I will listen to them.
He has claimed that this film is his favorite of the series.
Oh my God.
And I quote, "I think it tapped into the potential of bringing a comedic element to it all. And Brian Trenchard-Smith, who directed that one, is an incredible director. He manages to get so much out of so little money. And that was what was great about working with him. He really got the humor."
And that's fine. Listen, that's fine. And there is an element of humor to this, but there is also 50 billion other elements of terrible, not funny humor at all. It's like the Leprechaun stuff for most of it, when he's being funny, he's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
But the problem is that in this movie, we finally hit the event horizon. There are enough moments in this where he does something and it's like, oh my God, like please stop it. Just go to the next scene for fuck's sake. Then it's like, oh, and then there's like a Master of Disguise style series of like kind of racially insensitive vignettes that play out in order. And it's like, we don't need any of this. All we need is a bunch of stupid new Leprechaun rules, a handful of actually decent rhymes, and for it to be 25 minutes shorter.
A leprechaun is very territorial. He can never tolerate another leprechaun crossing his boundaries. One leprechaun can be aggravating, but two can be devastating. With that in mind, let's review what we've learned about leprechauns. Number one, his power lies in his gold. Without it, he's just another gnome full of mischief. Number two, each of his gold shillings will bring a wish come true to anyone who possesses them.
A wish, huh? I wish I was back at the casino on a winning streak.
I've lost him! He's got me shilling! He's got me shilling!
Everybody caught up? Those are the new rules now.
Yeah.
Two leprechauns hate each other. So there can only be one kind of thing.
Oh, Highlander.
Yeah. And Leprechaun Gold.
This is more like Lowlander.
Yeah. Leprechaun Gold, by the way, which has only ever come in coins. Not rings and other things like it was in the last two. Remember, the last two don't count.
Yeah.
Only coins. And each goodly gold coin grants a single wish to any person who picks it up.
Yeah. But it certainly doesn't protect you from harm like it did in part two.
Unless you're a leprechaun.
Yeah.
We open this film in space.
No.
I'm skipping 3. I'm doing 4 now.
Okay. I don't have notes.
We open this film with Freeside. What's funny is I always do this. I always say Freeside because that's what it is in Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
Just all the great splendor of Fremont, which is just a gorgeous vista.
You got that cowboy sign.
Yeah, dude. That's it.
That's pretty much it. That's how you know you're there. Viva Rock Vegas or whatever. But yeah, Las Vegas. There is a like your well-written summary said. There's a guy who's missing like an arm, a leg, and an eye.
Yeah.
Walking into a pawn shop, dragging this giant sack behind him.
Yes.
And he sells this statue that ends up being a statue of the leprechaun wearing a medallion.
Yeah.
To this pawn shop owner named Gupta.
Yeah.
Now, right off the bat.
Yeah.
Is this better or worse than Ozzy in Leprechaun, the original?
Okay.
Because this is clearly a man. This actor, who I'll go over in just a second, is from Argentina.
Okay.
And he is playing
an
Indian man.
Right. Named Gupta.
Yes.
Right.
And he's putting... I don't feel like he's in brown face necessarily.
Probably not.
But like...
He's wearing some sort of like toner.
But you think?
Yeah, like bronzers.
Okay. But he's definitely doing an accent.
Yes.
Poorly.
I'm going to say this is worse.
Okay.
I'm going to say this is worse because you could make the argument in the first movie that it's ableist, but it never goes. I don't think it ever goes too far. It rides the line. It's problematic, but this is just bona fide racist. Yeah. In like an obvious sort of way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not as bad as like there's been some other worse examples in other movies. Not that we've covered them, but that you know out there. But
Leprechaun 3,
this is
you're canceled.
Yeah, canceled.
Canceled.
Gupta is played by Marcelo Tubert, who was in the Roger Corman produced Mask of the Red Death from 1989.
Okay.
He would work with Wes Craven in Vampire in Brooklyn. And he is also in Tremors 2 in 1996.
He played a graboid? He
plays an Indian graboid.
Oh, also racist.
Yeah.
Tremors 2? Canceled. You're canceled. The guy walks in with the eye patch and he's like, I want to sell you. I'm going to sell you this so I can get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
It's me lucky charm. And it is the leprechaun, a terrible, terrible sculpture of the leprechaun. It looks nothing like Warwick Davis at all. It's like super like his face is super like Dr. Seuss-ish, like long and weird. But the whole thing looks like it's made out of wood. There's like this weird wood grain to it. I'm nitpicking. It's a statue. And he's like, I'm selling this to you, but never take that medallion off. Now I'm getting the fuck out of here. Now, I know this doesn't matter because I know they threw the last two movies out. But how did he get from L.A. Dead, assumedly?
Blown
up. How did he get from there to turned into a statue by a new medallion in a bag owned by a man in Fremont, Nevada?
Yeah. Again, is this supposed to be the same leprechaun?
You keep saying that, and it's like maybe all leprechauns are just like Warwick Davis.
Yeah, maybe they're all.
He wears exactly the same clothing.
It's like, and we referenced Deep Roy in our first chat of Leprechaun, but it's like him being every Oompa Loompa. Oh. It's like Warwick Davis is just every leprechaun, and they're all like, they're not the same leprechaun, but they all act very similar.
No.
Their powers are slightly off.
In our clip, the narrator of this computer program, which comes in clutch as far as exposition goes, but it's...
Otherwise, I would have been so confused by what was going on in this movie.
It says at one point that without its pot of gold, a leprechaun is just like a gnome.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like once a gnome becomes a leprechaun, it just looks like Warwick Davis.
Okay. Wait, is Warwick Davis outside of the leprechaun makeup? Is he a gnome?
No, I think that he's just a wonderful, wonderful guy who just keeps taking these movie deals.
Yeah, that's good. You walked that back in a good way. I probably was pushing it too far there. I meant nothing by that.
No, I know. I don't know. I don't know if I think this is the stupidest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any value in it from a story perspective. There are so many more interesting ways that you could introduce it, but you need the medallion, which, by the way, what a stupid fucking thing. And also, the computer program fails to mention anything about the medallion.
Yeah,
no one mentions the medallion.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like a new thing, or maybe that was the next chapter that they didn't get to.
I'm sure they'll go over that in the, what is it? Leprechaun Origin.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll talk about the medallion.
Certainly gonna cover that.
Everybody knows the Leprechaun Origin talks about that medallion, baby. Everybody knows that, baby boy.
But yeah, the guy like tells Gupta that it's like it's a good luck charm, the medallion, and to never touch it, to never take it off this statue.
And then he gets his money and he leaves. And then Gupta grabs the medallion. Immediately. You don't even have the comedy beat of him like sitting and looking at it, looking down, and then maybe an hour passes and he looks at it again. And like, you don't do any of that. He's immediately like, all right, cool, fuck that guy.
Yeah, I spent $20 on this.
The guy is missing half of his body. If he's warning you about something, maybe listen.
Yeah. Or maybe you just shouldn't have bought it in the first place.
Yeah. Maybe you should wipe that makeup off your face and be a better person.
Yeah. No, you mean the character himself in the movie is doing that?
The character in the movie is an Argentinian man who owns a pawn shop who wakes up every day and puts himself in brown.
He's like, oh, I'm just not doing the sales that I want to. You know what's a great stereotype?
Jesus. That's great.
Oh, it's something.
What is it, David Dubois?
Yeah, the writer.
He's going to sue us for sure.
But yeah, the leprechaun statue comes to life almost immediately as he takes that medallion off and turns his back to start Googling it, I assume. Was Google around at that time?
No, you had to be fortunate enough as a Fremont pawn shop owner to have a computer program in your Windows 94 that has a like hours-long database on every mythical creature.
Because there's all these different options he could have gone with.
Yeah, and I didn't read them all.
No.
I didn't like pause it or anything. Right. But I'm assuming it's just like medieval, like English and Irish sort of like fairies and gnomes and leprechauns and all these things. And it's like, assuming that this man is actually Indian and he's an actual Indian pawn shop owner, why would he buy... I guess.
Why does he have that on hand?
I guess the reality is it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. You could be interested in learning any topic, but movies do work in sweeping generalizations and just kind of broad brush strokes because that's what you have seconds to imbibe information from a movie.
Especially in a movie like this.
Right. So he should be like, I thought I bought something and oh, perfect. And then pull out a disc. He just clicks a button and it's up on his computer screen.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thank God I was already looking up mythology. I thought for sure a unicorn was going to bust in here, but no, I guess it's a leprechaun.
Oh my God. Yeah, when he turns around, so it starts my list of questions for things that happen in this movie.
I'm so excited because I'm going to give you really terrible, cynical answers.
He takes the medallion off. The statue then like fades into Warwick Davis.
Yeah.
And he's shot in ways as if this is the first time we're ever seeing him as the leprechaun because we see like his hand and his feet in his little shoes and like him walking around and his shadow on the wall and things like that. But it's like, we already know what he looks like.
Yeah,
we've seen him twice.
Yeah, like a collective like three and a half hours of him. Yeah.
But they're shooting him like that. But then when Gupta turns back around, the leprechaun is nowhere to be seen, but his pot of gold is sitting right there. Why did he leave his pot of gold sitting there? If he's going to then get mad when Gupta's like, hey, I got a free pot of gold.
I believe that he likes to engage in the chase. He's angry, but I think that he enjoys it.
Okay. So it's basically a trap.
He's a fey creature of mischief, says the computer program. And everybody knows that everything computers say is right, which is why, guys, stop going to the doctor. Just ask Gemini what's wrong with your butt.
Yeah.
There it is. Third channel podcast fact.
Yep. No.
I was like, wow, I'm surprised you let me sign off on that one.
The leprechaun attacks him, bites his ear.
Yeah.
And then like
he's got a bona fide shillelagh.
Yeah.
And he's just whacking the shit out of him.
And the same way that he always does. He attacks somebody and then he is like, man, these shoes really could use a shine.
Yes.
And then he rips the shoe off and bites the toe off.
Yeah.
Which then Gupta flashes this medallion that he's wearing, and the leprechaun hates seeing it.
Hates tasting it too.
Oh man, it's real bad.
He gets it in his mouth a little bit and he like vomits green bile immediathe.
Yeah.
Which is not the only green stomach substance that comes up in this movie.
No, I hate that.
Everybody does.
Yeah. But he grabs the pot of gold. He runs into this back room, which is basically it's like at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I was going to say, yeah. It's like the night at the museum, like the back of the Smithsonian. It is a warehouse, an airplane hangar filled with curios from tens of thousands of years ago.
Yeah. I assume that's what all pawn shops in Vegas look like.
Yeah. The cross that Christ was crucified on, just sitting back there with Gupta's family photo.
But he drops a coin in the process. And so, yeah, this is where Gupta watches the animated computer program about Irish folklore. The coin will grant a holder one wish. His power is in the gold.
Yeah.
And then he finds that gold coin and he goes looking for the leprechaun to try and get the rest of that from him.
Meanwhile, the leprechaun hides it in a safe.
Yeah.
Great.
Because he's counted it and he knows that he's missing 1 shilling.
Right. And he gets all mad and he slams his fist down and he's like, I'm missing a shilling. And he says the word shilling 500,000 more times in this movie.
He does. Now, when Gupta goes back there, the leprechaun kind of plays, a murder trick on him by making I think he turns like a mirror to where Gupta sees a mirrored version of him, but he thinks he's looking at the leprechaun. Because he's loaded a revolver.
Yeah, he's like 1 little, 2 little, 3 little leprechauns.
Because he's ready to shoot that leprechaun
to death
6 times.
Not realizing, no, I guess he immediately just is like, yeah, he's a mythical being. I don't know, dude.
He's going to go in there and start
the
blasting.
leprechaun reveal in these movies and every one of them has always been done, I think, poorly. It's never believable. There's never a believable amount of time to make peace with the fact that this serial mascot is alive and is a real thing.
Yeah.
It's always like, what are you? I'm a leprechaun. All right. Word. What are you going to do with that little stick? Ow! That's basically it. And I get it. It's a movie, but there should be some denial.
Yeah.
It's like the closest we get to that, we kind of made fun of the movie for it. But it's like Jennifer Aniston is like, what the fuck are you? Now, granted, we made fun of Jennifer Aniston because that is like the third, like the second, 2/3 of the way through the third act of the movie. She's like, what the fuck are you? And it's like, no. You've seen enough.
You've seen him multiple times.
You have seen him vanish and reappear in front of you. But it's like this guy, I don't know that he's been really given the proof. It's like a psychotic little person in heavy makeup bit his toe off. Now, yes, load the gun.
Right.
I guess, you know what? I'm actually on Gupta's side on this. Not about his personality or his choices of outward
appearance.
Yeah, but the fact that he gets his toe bitten off and he gets beaten with a little club.
Yeah.
And his answer to that is, yeah, it's America, baby. I'm loading this motherfucking thing to make holes in that bitch. I'm fine with that.
So
the leprechaun turns like a cherub with a bow. I love this.
Yeah, it's a good little bit.
It's cute, yeah. Because then the cherub shoots him with a brass arrow and it goes into his arm and he drops the medallion. Now, what I don't love, and what this movie does the entire movie, is every time something happens, it is just so that it can then happen again.
Yeah.
Moments later. Because he drops the medallion. He's like, ow. And he picks it back up. So ultimately, that whole sequence was for nothing.
Yeah. It was just I guess to just do the little bit.
Yeah, but you could just do the bit and then that's how you get the medallion out of his hand.
Yeah. But yeah, no. We need him to go back inside and then hang out. And then the leprechaun just comes in and picks up the bottle of whiskey and starts drinking with him. And he's like, well, I saw that you left the door open, so you clearly wanted me to come in here.
Yeah. Now that's cute. And I like that. But then what I don't like is that he spends minutes in dialogue because the guy's like, listen, here's what I want. I want half of your gold coins, and I will get rid of this medallion for you because you clearly hate it, so I'll get rid of it. And the leprechaun's like, no deal. And he's like, yes, deal. And the leprechaun's like, okay, deal.
Yeah.
Because it's the art of the deal.
Yeah. Howie Mandel is like, open that case.
Yeah.
And then whatever happens in that show.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I tried to play the arcade game of it once and was as confused by the arcade game as I am for the potential premise of that show. Mm-hmm. Charlie, how old were you when the first episode of Deal or No Deal premiered on cable television? Please leave a comment. Thank you. Charlie doesn't listen anymore.
He's stopped listening. He's not our friend anymore.
No, we're being ageist, so he doesn't. He has check the fuck out. Which
probably right.
Probably right to do that. But we then watch him negotiate with the shopkeep, back and forth and back and forth, and again, it then leads to nothing because they then strike a deal. The guy covers the medallion with his hat. Now, maybe it is supposed to be implied that the leprechaun can't use its power while the medallion is like in sight, but that falls apart immediately throughout the rest of the movie. So I'm going to say no to that.
Yeah. The what this medallion and how it affects him is not 100% clear.
No, it's not, because originally I thought like, okay, cross to a vampire.
Mm-hmm. That's how he acts.
But then it's like it has to be held at him.
Mm-hmm. If it's just hanging around, then
if it's over there,
yeah.
But so then he goes through.
If he doesn't notice it, it's like it's not there.
If a medallion shits in the woods, does the leprechaun shit in a magician's hand?
In this case, yes.
Yeah. But my point is that he spends the time and the energy and the effort to strike this deal with Gupta. I feel weird saying his name at this point.
Yeah.
And they agree on it, deal. And then the leprechaun's like, actually, fuck you. And then uses his magic to use a deep sea fishing pole in the corner of the fucking shop to fish hook the medallion and send it over there. And then he just beats him to death with a shillelagh.
Yeah.
And it's like, if the end result here is no deal, I'm keeping all my gold and I'm going to beat you to death and I'm using trickery, why wouldn't he just shoot him with the fucking arrow and that be the end of it? Because that's the most interesting thing. Mm-hmm. And then you could cut 10 minutes out of this movie and not replace it with anything, by the way. Just make it 10 minutes shorter.
I don't know. Well, it's strange that they kill Gupta so early in this film. He's not our main character?
No, definitely not.
Oh, right. Because this whole time they've been intercutting this.
Yeah.
With our actual main characters.
Let me be very clear. Like within the scene of him hiding in the mirror and doing the cherub thing, it's like a minute long, maybe minute and a half long sequence. And we cut from that twice. Like a minute here, a minute there, a minute here, but for 30 minutes. It is the most frustrating. Like the only way we were able to cover this story cohesively in any way is you made the decision of just doing, no, we're going to do one and then the other. Because like, God, it's a headache.
Yeah, it really is.
But it's a good thing they got all that footage of the street so that you know it's across the street.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right there on the Vegas Strip, baby.
We meet a gentleman, a young man, who can only be best described as a member of the McPoyle family before Always Sunny in Philadelphia existed.
Yes. Oh my God, that is, spot on.
He is this weaselly, he is just the most unattractive, boring. He looks like the kind of guy that fucking David Carradine would beat up for being a nerd.
Oh, yeah.
Now, unfortunately, David Carradine just died. But the point is, he would get his ass kicked by almost any nerd ever.
Robert Carradine just died.
Robert Carradine? Okay.
Yeah. David Carradine
died a long time ago and from a way that is a lot more difficult to talk about on a podcast.
I mean, they're both pretty difficult to speak about. If you're feeling down, seek help.
Yeah, reach out to somebody.
Yeah, we are there for you. You can reach out to us.
Yeah, text us. You can do that.
Yeah.
In our description, you can send us a text message. You can talk to us.
You can also email us. You can get with us on pretty much every social media out there.
Yeah.
Please do. I know we're joking around.
No, but this is serious.
Seriously, like, yeah.
if you want to talk about Leprechaun 3, do not reach out to us.
Oh, you definitely should reach out to me personally. I'll talk about this movie all day.
That's fine. If you reach out to me, you're being blocked. Crazy shit, because then he happens to meet. Where are we? Are we?
So they're on the Vegas Strip. He's driving along, and there is a woman who is got car trouble, and she's like hitching a ride, and then he almost hits her, and he pulls off the road just in time to not hit her or her car. And those are our two leads.
Yes, that's their little meet cute.
Oh yeah,
a little tease of vehicular manslaughter.
When they have their first kiss, and it's a real foot popping kiss.
Foot popping.
Yeah, you know, like when you kiss somebody and it's so good that your foot pops up.
Your foot pops off.
You. Yeah.
Pops off like a diabetic.
It's a reach to something. I don't even remember what movie it's from.
Quite frankly, my dear, I don't give a foot. That's what Quentin Tarantino says when he denies female actresses roles.
Wow.
He's like, quite frankly, my dear, get that out of here. Cover that up. Put a shoe on that.
Our main character, Scott McCoy, is played by John Gatkins. I think I've got that spelled wrong. Hold on. No, yeah, there's no K. That was an autocorrect. Gattins.
Okay.
John Gattins, who was in Witchboard 2 in 1993.
Now we know how he got this job.
He's in Pumpkinhead 2 in 94. He's in Big Fat Liar, the Paul Giamatti.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Amanda Bynes.
I love that movie.
Frankie Muniz, 2002. I love that movie.
Love that movie.
And then the strangest thing.
Oh, no.
He doesn't have a ton of other acting chops here, but he did write some things.
Oh.
He is the co-writer of Kong Skull Island in 2017.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it truly is.
No, really. I'm floored by that because I thought this guy had no talent.
Right.
But it turns out he's quite talented. Just not at what he was doing in this.
Yeah. He shouldn't act.
No. And again, he looks like if Ichabod Crane had his head chopped off and was replaced with a bigger, stupider weenie. Just a loser.
Yeah.
And then she's like gorgeous.
Yeah. Tammy Larson is played by Lee Armstrong, who does not have a lot of acting roles. She was in something called Classic Stories for Children, which was a 1992 TV special with puppets.
Great. Yay, puppets.
And I found this fascinating.
Oh.
No one else will. But she was in a movie called Magic Island, which was a fantasy adventure film from 1995. Now, this is a movie that I saw as a kid, and I thought I had imagined it for like a decade.
Okay.
Because they must have played it on like Disney Channel or something. And but it's not like a Disney Channel original movie or anything like that. It was just like, or maybe like an ABC Family. They played it somewhere on TV. I watched it. And then I didn't know what the name of it was. I didn't know how to, the internet doesn't exist the way that it does. I have no way of figuring out what this thing is. So for the longest time, all I could remember that it was about a kid who fell asleep reading like a pirate adventure book. Okay. And he wakes up within the story of that book.
And there are puppets?
There are pirates. It's not, has nothing to do with the Muppets.
Okay, because I was going to say it's fucking Muppets Treasure Island, baby.
It's not. Because that's what I would get once I started looking. And so the other things that sets it apart from this is that I could remember that there was a mermaid.
Oh, good.
There was a sand shark.
Cool.
And I mean, he was like walking in the sand and then a fin comes up and like chases him through. Yeah, a sand shark. He climbs to get away from said sand shark. He climbed a tree that had slices of pizza growing in it. So there's a pizza tree.
Pizza tree sounds good.
And then I could remember that like his jeans had gotten ripped up either by the sand shark or
maybe the pizza was
cut
too
up
sharp
on the rocks or something. I don't know. And then something to do with bubble gum. He used bubble gum to get away from the sand shark.
This now sounds like Adventure Time.
And then I had to but those are the things that that's all I
the
remember.
Fever dream of it all.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't think this movie exists.
How did you rediscover it?
Basically I found one of those like weird subreddits or whatever, where it's like tip of my tongue sort of stuff. And I just listed off all those things. And somebody was like, oh yeah, it's Magic Island from 1995. And it's like, get the fuck out of here.
Hey, 95, same year.
Yeah.
That's wild. Did she like co-write The Witch?
No,
or like fucking Alien Romulus or something?
So she doesn't do anything else after this, which is kind of ironic because later in the movie, Mitch is like, you're never going to make it in showbiz.
Do you think that guy actually had her blacklisted because she wouldn't bang him? Mm-hmm. That's a very problematic scene.
Yeah, there's a whole like very Weinstein thing going on there.
But I mean, like her performance in it is also just like, oh God, I'm like watching it through steep. Okay, all right,
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, they meet each other. What I will say is most of her, like the visual of her character. Let me put it to you like this: it's like a Sydney Sweeney type in one way, being booby, but has nothing to do with like being a white nationalist or any of that. That old chestnut.
Yeah.
No. But she's pretty and blonde and is likable, and he is horrible and a broom handle.
Yeah.
But at least like he gets into the weird shit later on in the movie. But yeah. But in the beginning, like when he's playing like the Marty McFly type, he's terrible.
Yeah, because Scott is he is on his way through Vegas. He's not staying there. He's not stopping there. He's driving through. He's going to L.A. To catch up with Leprechaun from Leprechaun 2.
Right. The other one.
But he's going there to college. And then he picks up Tammy, who is stopped on the side of the road. Her car is broken down. And she's like, can you please give me a ride to work? I work at this casino, the Lucky Shamrock or whatever it's called. And that she is a magician's assistant, but she dreams of being a magician herself. She's going to have her own show one day.
Great.
Yeah. You know, we've set up some who these characters are. And
let me ask you a question. Her being a magician's assistant and like wanting to like studying magic, does that pay off in any way? Any way at all?
No.
Okay.
She doesn't.
Does him being studious or going to college for something specific, does that pay off in any way?
No.
So all of this is just padding out the runtime. And
The only way it pays off is in the monetary of he takes the money that he was going to use to go to college and he gambles it all.
Could you not have just said that was savings?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Could have said anything.
Yeah. You could do anything.
You could have just had him go in there and spend the like $50 that he just happened to have in his jacket, you know, and then him go, oh, I don't have any money. And she could go, well, that watch looks nice. Why don't you go take it to the pawn shop next door? Which is what happens.
That's true.
So yeah, they could have done this any other way.
Yeah. I guess it's a strange thing because what ends up happening is the Vegas of it all, which is he goes to, he meets this girl and this girl's like, yeah, I'm a Vegas magician assistant. And he's like, oh, neat. I've never been in a casino. Do you think you could sneak me in? Because he's under 21.
He's like a college age. Maybe he's 18, 19.
Sure. But she's like, no, I'll lose my job. Do you have any idea how terrible of a decision that is?
And then he's like,
all right.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah. She goes, no, okay, I'll let you in.
Oh, here's the door.
It took nothing.
Yeah.
It took nothing. How anybody in this establishment has to pressure her into doing anything is incredible because she just seems to be the most agreeable. Like, these are all of the consequences and risks to the actions I'm about to take. Fuck it. Let's do it anyway.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So she lets him in.
And they plan to like meet for dinner later.
Yeah, right.
Because then they split off and she's just like, no gambling.
Yeah.
Because that's illegal. And then take a quick lap, look at what you want to look at in here. And then, we can meet later, but don't do anything.
Yeah. Take a quick lap. Don't do anything. And then wait hours for me. Give yourself over to me. She goes to the magician, who again is bad.
Yeah. Fazio
Bear.
Fazio. It's played by John DeMita. He's mostly known for his voice work.
Yeah.
Now, he's been in a couple of things that you might know. Apparently in Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy X.
Okay.
He is the voice of Luzu, Bartholo, and Hypolo.
Okay.
And I think Bartholo and Hypolo also go into 10-2.
I know who Luzu is.
Is that a main character? I don't know.
No. It's like a guard.
Okay.
Like he's like a chocobo rider.
But at least now you've piqued my interest.
Right? Yeah.
And then he also, and I don't know this anime all that much, but in Naruto, he is apparently the voices of Dosu Kanuda, Hayashi Hyuga, and Hazashi Hyuga. I do not, again, don't know any of those
Seems
characters.
to play people with the same last name a lot.
And then in a specific English dub of Dragon Ball Super, he was Beerus.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm starting to like this guy. Maybe he's Beerus. Beerus is a goddamn cat. That's great.
Yeah. But yeah, the great Fazio is a magician.
Yeah.
And then we also meet Loretta, who is a
Perfect. Okay, so here's Loretta. I'm gonna give this description. Loretta is somehow like fucking Rizzo from Grease and is like, "Hey, what's the matter, you? How's it going? It's me, Loretta." And like that's how she sounds like fucking Peter Griffin.
Yeah.
And then everyone is like, "You're a fat old hag," and she's perfectly fine looking.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with her.
Yep.
Like you can tell that they've like kind of stuffed her shirt to look like she has like her breasts have kind of sagged a bit.
Yeah.
But it's like even still perfectly fine.
I remember watching this for the first time with you and Dylan, and the reaction of well, clearly something's going on here. They've made her up like this because something's going to happen to her later.
Right. Because like she's clearly wearing a wig.
Yes.
She's wearing like this terrible, god awful, it looks like polyester fiber wig. And yeah, but that is the theme is anytime anyone talks about Loretta or to Loretta, because fucking Bernadette? Bertrude?
No, that was from the second one.
Is it Harrietta or Henrietta?
It's
neither one of those.
Yeah, no, it's Henrietta.
There it is. The guys that's from Evil Dead. Check it out. But yeah, no, whatever the lead's name is.
Tammy.
It's Tammy?
Yeah.
Oh, because B is last movie.
Yes.
Okay. See? It took me a whole movie to remember.
Well, and don't be confused because then Jennifer Aniston played Tori.
And this one is Tammy.
Correct.
Great. So
without the T-Rex.
right, the Tammy Trail. That's my little thing. That's my secret.
Okay.
That's how I'm gonna remember my secret. Like coming up with little like name recognition exercises.
What is it, a mnemonic
Device. Thank you. I couldn't even remember that. I
have a mnemonic device for that. I think about Johnny Mnemonic and
see, I have dementia. So there's no time. I'm sundowning right now, baby.
Guys, if you have dementia,
be the president. Yeah. So
the reason that it's like even more so, because whenever I see her, I'm like, oh, well, I know this actress.
oh, do you?
This is Caroline Williams.
Well, what I was gonna say is they're like, oh, well, Tammy's late, and Loretta's like, well, I could do her job.
Right.
Sorry, I could do her job. That'd be super simple. That was me smoking a cigarette. That'd be super simple. And then he's like, it wouldn't be. You disgust me, you fat cow. And it's like, what the fuck? He's like, every time I see you, I throw up from my pupils. It hurts. Get out of here. And he chases her off with the newspaper.
That does happen.
It does happen.
But yeah, it is that shocking thing of like, man, they're really having to do her up bad because like
they didn't do a good job.
No, because it's like Caroline Williams is very attractive.
Yeah, she's a pretty lady.
She was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Mm-hmm.
She is in later. She would be in Halloween 2 in 2009, the Rob Zombie film. She's in Hatchet 3.
I didn't know. I guess I forgot. Hatchet 3 is the best movie of all time, folks.
You couldn't forget that. And then she was in Renfield in 2023.
Oh, I meant to watch that.
Yeah.
Is that good?
It's fun.
Okay.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
I mean, Nicholas Hoult, you can't go wrong.
I love him so much.
And then Nick Cage being Dracula.
That might be great, but you can go wrong with Nick Cage. But so Tammy shows up and Tammy's like, I'm here. And he's like she calls him something. And he's like, I told you to call me like the great and powerful.
Yeah. That is like immediately just slams on brakes of just like, no, don't like this guy.
You should quit your job, lady.
You absolutely should.
Go work for Gupta.
Yeah.
He needs somebody to dust all 100,000 of his curios.
Yeah. And just don't look directly at the Ark.
Right. Don't get lost in the labyrinthine base in Hoth. crazy. It is crazy. But yeah, because he's a prick. And he's just like, I told you to call me that on or off the stage. And she kind of is like, really? He's like, yes. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. And then fucking Caroline Williams is like, I'm Lefty in the second Texas Chainsaw movie.
No, she's Stretch.
Oh, no. Dennis Hopper, no.
When they all have like nicknames, it's hard to keep them all straight.
Hey, everybody got nicknames.
But yeah, he's not good.
No. And then we cut back to Scott. And Scotty's like,
I was gonna deal with that in a second. We can introduce the rest of these the few players that we have left.
Yeah.
Because Fazio's trying out this new like what he's calling the burning beauty trick, where he has a flamethrower in the middle of a showroom at a casino.
Yeah.
And as he's trying it out, the casino owner Mitch stops him and is like, "Get out there and mingle with the people. What are you doing?" And Loretta, you need to get out there. Your break's over. And then he starts hitting.
Calls her fat again.
Yes.
He's like, get up there, you big piece of shit. It's like, guys, please. Loretta's your best employee. She's willing to cheat against the customers for you.
Yes. Oh my God. And then he starts hitting on Tammy.
Like a creep.
Like a creep.
Very Weinstein.
Yeah. It starts this whole subplot of that. And then after he kind of sends her along her way, then he is threatened by these two guys who I guess are like loan sharks or something. I don't know.
No idea.
He owes them money somehow.
It is the weirdest, least explained, and continuous bit.
Yeah.
Because, and they're both image obsessed. And it's like there's like so many different things that they're trying to do for comedy with these two characters of these loan sharks, and none of it works.
None of it works.
None of it.
We sit for like a full like 2-minute moment later on where they're talking about like the types of underwear that they wear,
and like how he's wearing different socks,
and he's like, yeah, but I don't like to wear those because they make me feel like a lady.
Right.
It's like, yeah, but I don't like to wear these things because they make me feel like a lady.
It's like, guys, just 69 each other.
Yeah, man.
Suck each other's penises and then leave our movie.
Yeah.
We don't want you here.
But I want to see that though.
Oh, God. Guys, leave a comment. No, I'm not engaging that way.
Mitch is played by Michael Callan, who was in Mysterious Island, a fantasy adventure from 1961. He is in the Western film The Magnificent Seven Ride in 72. And he was in the slasher film Double Exposure from 1982. And then Art is the main guy. So you have like the main loan shark, and then you have his like muscle.
In a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to call them Ty and Hawaiian shirt.
Okay. Art is Ty's name.
Okay.
Not producer Ty.
No, producer Ty's name is producer Ty.
Yeah.
First and last.
The actor's name is Tom Dugan. And the only things I have for him are very small parts. In Ghostbusters 2, he played a restaurant cop.
Okay.
In Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, he played a Neanderthal.
Okay, great.
And then he is also in Hellraiser Bloodline.
What?
Somewhere. I don't know what he is.
Okay.
And then Tony is the other guy's name, and I couldn't tell you what he was in.
No.
Basically nothing.
No.
He's not really a character.
Great.
Even in this movie.
He's probably like somebody's friend or some shit. Yeah.
And he's probably listening right now, and we've destroyed him.
You suck.
Roger Hewlett.
Fuck you, Roger. You're not even the alien from American Dad.
No. That would be funny.
You're Ebert. You're Roger Ebert. Fuck you, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, but then we catch back up with Scott, who's been he starts to gamble away all of his tuition money.
Correct.
And Loretta is the one at his table. He's playing roulette.
Right, and she has this. Okay, so I don't understand this at all.
Mm-hmm.
She has this
roulette.
No, I get roulette. She's got this button, like a doorbell button, under the table of the roulette wheel, and she clicks it. And then a little arm extends outward. And it's obviously supposed to be a magnet that stops the ball in its tracks. But it's moving so fucking quickly. How would you know where it's going to land? I feel like clicking the button would do just as much to increase the chances of it hitting the number. It's like, it doesn't change where it's going to go. You can't tell where it's going to go.
Yeah.
You're just ending the chance faster.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it could end up right where they bet.
Right.
So yeah,
just it's the same percentage chance. Wherever it was going to go, you're just stopping it from moving on its own, but it's still randomly landing somewhere.
yeah. I don't know.
But she cheats at roulette against Scott. And then when Scott has no money and he's like, I'm ruined, she's like, well, honey, your watch looks nice. Go get money for it at the pawn shop and come back and find a dead man. He's like, what? She's like, the pawn shop.
She's like, that'll make sense in a couple minutes.
Don't worry about it. The hot dog guy is the hero.
Yeah. Scott goes to the pawn shop and he finds Gupta's corpse.
Yeah.
And the coin.
Yeah. This is where our clip is.
Oh, yeah.
He calls and says, I found a dead body. And then he accidentally clicks play on the Irish folklore computer game.
And it doesn't start over from the top. It just continues on to give us more facts.
Right. And so then he wishes that he was back at the casino.
And I do like, because it's like, as he's hearing this thing, the leprechaun, Warwick Davis, has an axe. And he's like stalking around. And then he's about to like chop him. And he makes his wish and he disappears, reappearing at the casino, like right as he swings down. And then, he freaks out because he's...
Now, here's my question to you. If he had the axe in his hands when Scott showed up,
right,
was he going to hack that pawn shop owner to pieces?
Oh, you think that's what was going on?
I think he was going to chop that guy's body into a tiny million little pieces.
And make hot dogs out of him. Or, for Ian's sake, chili dogs.
Yeah, he's going to make chili dogs out of this guy.
Okay.
And Ian was going to show up, and then Warwick was going to possess him, and then they were going to eat chili dogs as one.
They were going to go on trial.
Yeah, and have... And you know what the craft services for the jury duty was that day? Chili dogs, baby.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all chili dogs. Chili dogs up, chili dogs down. So he gets back to the casino.
Yeah.
He's magically teleported there from his wish.
And not only that,
he's on a winning streak.
Oh,
He's got all of his money back.
And it's like he puts the because he has the coin.
Right.
And shilling.
And if he sets it on the stack of chips that he is moving around the roulette table's like bet calling area, it moves on its own. And as long as he puts his hand over it, it shows him what the winning numbers are.
Yeah. And he's like putting his hand like kind of floating it over it. So it looks like he's making a decision, but he's waiting for it to kind of do it.
Now, Loretta immediately clocks this.
Oh, yeah.
But the character doesn't think to tell the management that this guy is cheating. How he would be cheating in this context in a real world scenario without magic as the explanation, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like, it doesn't matter, lady.
If you think that he's cheating.
You have to, yeah. If you see something, say something.
Yeah.
You know? And then Mitch shows up and is mad because he's losing a bunch of money. And then he's like, Loretta, you fat scum. You big bitch. What have you done to me? You've ruined me. You tub of lard. And she's like, I don't know how he's doing this. And the other thing that's happened is magically the little magnet is broken. And she's like, I don't know. I'm clicking the fucking thing like you told me. And he's like, listen to me, fat Albert. That's probably a problematic reference, but I'm sticking it in here. I don't care. Listen to me, you fucking whale. You Brendan Fraser's the whale.
Wow.
I'll kill you. And that's not me exaggerating.
I mean, like, yeah, more or less.
He's like, something bad's going to happen to you and you know what I fucking mean. And she's like, okay, well.
She's like, oh God, Harvey.
He's like, I'm taking he's like, get my money back now. She's like, okay. And then she, I guess, convinces the magician.
Yeah, she goes off
to
make a plan there because Mitch shuts down the table and he's like, hey, you're on a great winning streak.
Yeah.
Are you staying here? Well, you are now. Here's a free penthouse or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he being Scott, bumps into Tammy.
Right.
Who's like, I told you not to gamble.
And he's like, yeah, but look, I've won us $1 billion. And she's like, us? And he's like, yeah, I want to share it with you. And then in the weirdest facial journey, she's like disgusted and annoyed.
Yeah.
She's like, no, ew, I told you not to fucking go upstairs.
And then she's like, you should cash out though and wait for me upstairs.
But it's not.
No, it's not. It's not like sexy or it's not like, it is like you have made a mistake. You don't know how in over your head you are.
But it's that, but it's also like immediately like negatively matronly. It's like, go get in your bed. Like, go to your room. And it's like, oh, okay. And so he does. Yeah. And he orders room service up there.
Mm-hmm. Now this is where the Leprechaun is finally out on the strip, having just recently, killed Gupta, and he's wandering around out there on Fremont Street, enjoying the sights.
He left the flea market that is disguised as a pawn shop.
A lot of sight gags here, neon lights.
Oh God,
shrimp cocktail, the Golden Nugget, casino. He walked by a strip club. There's the Elvis impersonator.
And that, okay, I'm already not enjoying the movie, but the Elvis impersonator,
That's what won you over?
No, the opposite of that. And I can explain why. That's where I completely clicked off for this. And it's like the Elvis impersonator walks up to the Leprechaun and he's like, "Hey, baby, I like your shoes." And he's like, "Hey, I like your outfit." And the two of them make out for a little bit.
Yeah.
No, they compliment each other. And it's like, wow, what a great. And then the Leprechaun does the hand, like
guitar.
Like he's pretending to do the big sweepy air guitar, and he does the pelvic thing. And he's basically looking directly into the camera while he does it. And it's like, all of that's fine. And it's cutesy, and the whole thing is about being in Vegas. But the Leprechaun does not come off to me as a Vegas character. It's like Jason takes Manhattan because Manhattan is huge and dangerous and sleazy. And look, it's something even scarier stalking around Manhattan now.
Yeah.
But the Leprechaun isn't a showman. He's not why would he love Elvis? I don't know. It's you're trying to fit a fucking square hole into a round peg, and it doesn't, or backwards, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. And it's so overdone and so look at how fun this is. And it's all right, whatever. I'm not interested anymore. Fuck off.
Yeah.
But that's what this entire sequence is him going from visual thing to visual thing and being quirky and silly. And none of it plays for me. Yeah.
And again, because of the way that this movie is edited, it is back and forth between this and Scott gambling and Tammy being accosted and all these things. But the Leprechaun finally makes it to the Lucky Shamrock. This is where he terrorizes Fazio, who is doing bad tricks to, a woman in the casino.
He shits in his hand.
Isn't that funny?
He makes a big turd.
It's
green. Big, weird green. It's like, you ever see the people that make tiny villages or whatever? The foam that they use for turf, that green foam. It just looks like somebody had a piece of that and carved it into a little shit. Yeah. And was like, all right,
wouldn't it be funny?
No, I know you're a big method guy. Your character just shit this out of its ass. Go.
Magically into that guy's hand.
Action.
And yeah. And then he does a rhyme about it.
Yeah, he's
it comes out of my shillelagh every day at 9:00.
Which, by the way, does he shit out of his dick?
I guess.
That's what that sounds like. It comes out of my shillelagh, which is a shillelagh is famously a long, gnarled, rod. And it's it comes out of, every morning at 9 a.m. I shit out me dick. Here you go.
I think that's what he was getting at.
Yeah.
He also, he's rolling craps.
Yeah.
A different kind of craps. And Art and Tony, the loan shark guys, show up. And they start roughing him up for whatever reason.
Fucking reason.
It's do you guys work at this casino? What do you care?
Okay.
What is happening?
And what it reminded me of is in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I can't remember what the episode is, but they're look, he's beating up on whatever. And it's these two guys, these two random Philly guys look at Mac, and Mac's in a fight or whatever. They're he's beating up on so-and-so. I can't remember, but it's is that a hate crime? No. You want to pound him anyway? Sure. And they kick the shit out of Mac. And that's all I can think of is look at that little guy over there. Is he a problem? No. You want to go murder him?
You want to make him a problem?
Yeah.
Because that's basically what happens. Because then, he puts a coin or something in Hawaiian shirt guy's mouth.
Yes.
And then pulls his arm, and then all these coins start dumping out of his mouth as if he's a slot machine.
Right.
And he's like, now you guys go deal with that.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of leave, and he goes about his business.
And no one is praying or like trying to find a Bible. No one is like seeking the wise counsel of a shaman.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, man, that's crazy that guy was just a slot machine. Anyway, where's the owner of this place? We got to get our money. And it's like, he just puked up a jackpot. Why don't you care?
Yeah. Why don't you get like a bucket and scoop that up?
And it's like, it's because it's a comedy. Mm-hmm. And when Scooby-Doo eats something too spicy and his head becomes a literal volcano.
Well, that's funny.
Okay, that is pretty funny. What if Scooby and the gang rip the leprechaun's face off? And there's
See, that's the crossover we need.
Yeah, I agree. Like the Scooby-Doo Spooky Island, that era of live action movie crosses over with the Leprechaun.
Yeah.
And Freddie Prinze Jr. There's a scene where Freddie Prinze Jr. the Leprechaun shits in his hand out of his dick, and then Freddie Prinze Jr. just beats the shit out of him for like 15 minutes of the movie.
And the other two guys are just like, yeah, I don't really like, he's wearing an ascot, but I don't really like ascots. It makes me feel like a lady.
right. And it's like, by the way, there's no point where the Leprechaun lands a single hit.
No.
It's not a fair fight at all. It is a horrible thing to watch. That's the Scooby-Doo movie we need.
Yeah.
Do you think Warwick would do it?
I hope so.
I hope he doesn't. No, Warwick's got that clause that The Rock has where he can never lose.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He must never have watched the end of this movie. We're the only two who have.
Yeah. And now all of you guys will, right?
Yeah, you definitely will.
Nobody has stuck around in this episode to this far. No one. We will to listen back to edit it, but that's it.
Loretta and Fazio are conspiring to rob Scott of his like $10,000 in winnings and the coin.
And the coin.
That Loretta knows is magic.
But doesn't tell him.
Yeah. She's holding out. Not for a hero, though.
No, for a magician.
So, yeah, Fazio breaks into Scott's room and then, I guess, surprises Scott. He's only able to steal the coin and he couldn't find all the money that Scott hid away somewhere.
He's a sleight of hand magician who doesn't, think to check this guy's coat pockets for the money, which is big dumb. But then the other thing is, like, he's in there to stealthily steal from this guy. And the guy's got the shower on and the bathroom door is closed. And he makes so much noise. The magician makes so much noise that Scott's like, what? And he opens the door and he's like, who the fuck are you? And he literally throws he punches him in the stomach and then throws a smoke bomb on the ground.
Yes. But like, and I love that bit because he throws the smoke bomb, but then he doesn't disappear. Like he looks down at the smoke bomb and then he's like, okay, and then runs away. But so it's not effective.
No.
Now what it is effective in is then hiding. It gets this grand reveal of the leprechaun pushing in the room service cart.
Now I want to be very clear about something. To this point, I had forgotten a major plot point in this movie.
Okay.
I had totally forgotten what is about to happen in the plot. Yeah. I had totally forgotten this. Earlier on, as played in our clip, the computer program says something to the effect of two leprechauns can't be around each other. And I was like, what a weird thing to say. And then I was thinking about the last movie where the person of color, little person who is like
Tony Cox,
is playing a guy dressed up for St. Patty's Day as a leprechaun. And I was like, that's the last movie. That's not this movie. Where is there another leprechaun? And then Leprechaun comes into Scott's room and they have a scuffle. And he bites Scott on the arm.
Yes.
And right there, it clicked with me. And I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, I remember, it's not that I remember the visuals of any of it. It was just like, oh my God, this motherfucker is going to like zombie turn into a goddamn leprechaun. Yeah. Like at least we didn't get the thing. At least the movie had the good graces to not make him like shrink down and like put shoes on his knees. But it is just like, oh my God, it's so fucking stupid. And it dawned on me and I was like, if I didn't do this show, I would have just turned the movie off. That's what I'm saying. Everybody else that listens to our show, they didn't make it this far into the episode because they didn't make it that far into the movie. They were like, no more of that.
No, thank you.
No more, thanks.
But yeah, the leprechaun bites Scott and then he gets stabbed. And so some of his blood like pours into the wound.
Yeah, it hawk-tuas into his arm.
Pretty much. Now I will say it's hilarious because Scott throws the leprechaun out the window.
And then it's clearly a dummy.
The dummy. And it just hits the ground so hard.
It is very funny because especially Warwick does like a voiceover of like, ah! It's just like, it looks like, you know what it looks like? It looks like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when Uncle Phil would throw Jazzy out. And it's like, ah! But it's like, what if it was off of like a 10-story building?
Yes.
Hilarious.
Yes, it's very funny. Something we haven't talked about in the last two discussions is there's several times where like in both those movies where he gets like shot or knocked down and he just like falls flat on the ground. And there is something so funny about the way the body falls.
It's because of his heels.
Yeah.
Like when he falls on his face, it is because he's wearing those goddamn character shoes.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
hilarious.
And I mean, Warwick just does such a great job of like the pratfalls of it all.
I mean, he's a very funny guy.
He honestly is.
Yeah. What is it? Idiot Abroad. And then he's in a bunch of extras. The other Rick, because he and Ricky Gervais are friends.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, he's hysterical.
Yeah. He just, and I mean, genuinely just seems like a good dude.
Yeah. Let's get him on.
We really should.
Yeah. Guys, text him or tweet him or whatever.
Yeah. Get him on here. We got 4 more movies to talk about.
Oh, God.
At least. So yeah, Mitch. So Loretta ends up taking the coin from Fazio, and then that is then stolen by Mitch because Mitch is like, "Hey, what is that you got there?" Well, I'm taking this until you can give me back the money that you lost the casino.
Yeah.
And Mitch then makes they go back and forth, and it's a bunch of like, oh, well, you're
fat. No, you're fat. No, you're fat. No, you're fat. And it's like neither of you are fat. You're an older guy, and you're a perfectly normal looking woman. Yep. What is this?
And so Mitch holding the coin makes a kind of a sarcastic like wish because he obviously doesn't know what he's doing or that he's holding a magic coin.
Correct.
But he basically wishes that Tammy would want to have sex with him.
Yeah. He wishes that the coin glows. She's walking and then it's like, huh? What? And then it is just the most horrible, uncomfortable performance where she is acting as though she has been possessed by this great lust. And she walks up and she's like, Mitch. But it's like, Mitch.
Yeah.
And it's gone from like, Scott, I told you not to gamble, to like, Mitchie, it's me, babe, boop. And it's like, what the fuck? And she's like, get over here and fuck me.
She does say that.
I mean, basically. And he's like, cool, sick, come up to my room.
Yeah. So they go up to his room.
Right before the elevator door closes, he flicks the coin in the air and he catches it out of happiness. And Loretta looks and she goes, oh, you wish on it. Got it. Understood.
Yeah, because she tries to show Mitch or Fazio, one or the other at that point. She tries to get it to work
on the roulette table. Yeah,
and it doesn't. So she's figured it out. And now she has.
Now, for a director and the way that is choreographed, to see the coin and then it's just her performance, that's great because you can immediately see the character recognize.
Yeah, cause and effect.
Yeah. Why it's happening is terrible.
Yeah.
Because a man wished on a shooting star that a 21-year-old girl, a man in his 60s, has now unintentionally, I guess, makes it a little less ethically ambiguous.
Right, but he's been hitting on her. And earlier he is like, you know, you're always playing hard to get, but you're going to come around one day to Mitch. You know, I'm the man around here.
You're going to let Mitch pitch. Yeah, that's gross, but that's not as it's basically what he would say. They go up to his
suite,
and then
which it's a pretty sweet suite, I will say.
Oh, she like beats him up in the elevator. I don't know,
this really weird. So the elevator thing is I don't understand. I don't know how I don't understand how that plays into the wish or who she is, and now at this point, but yeah, she does she starts to do a striptease. And
she gets to the point where she is about to unveil her yabos.
Right.
And then
Loretta has snuck into the room.
Like followed and taken the coin away. And it's like, as the coin is taken by a new person, which this has never explained, but all of a sudden that stops happening. She's like, what the fuck did you do to me? And he's like, you're not gonna fuck me? All right, sweetheart, you're blackmailed. I'm gonna ruin you forever. And she's crying horribly, and she runs out, and it's really like disturbing and kind of sad.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah. This performance here from her is sad is probably the best.
Yeah. It's sad in two ways. It's sad because it's like obviously emotionally it's gotta be terrifying and awful, and you're being abused. You're waking up from basically a trance to abuse.
She
and then
all of a sudden is in this room and has no idea what has happened.
it's also sad because it's really like pathetic. Like it's just terrible acting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, okay. And then, oh God. It's just layers of shit. Then the TV turns on in Mitch's room.
Yes, because the leprechaun has appeared behind the TV.
Right.
Because I guess he keeps smelling his gold.
But it's like he's smelling it 10 minutes later.
Yeah, he's always, just a second behind.
A day late and a shilling short. But
yeah, that's the saying.
He's like in the room and the TV turns on because of his magic. And it's a woman.
Right.
A blonde woman who's like, hey, Mitch, and is saying his name. And he's like, what? It's got to be a coincidence.
Yeah.
And then she keeps doing it and he keeps just writing it off until this large fake-breasted woman climbs out of the television and mounts him.
Yeah.
And again, he asks 0 questions. He is unfazed entirely. He is so like boned up that he's just like, man, I don't care if you came out of my TV. I'm giving you the business.
I'm giving you the Mitch pitch.
Then the confusing part is while this is happening, the TV then flicks from like fake commercial to fake commercial. And each of them are the leprechaun in a different, like the first one is like a lawyer. And then the next one is like like a fortune teller.
Like a Miss Cleo.
And it's really like a problematic like accent and everything. And it just keeps happening.
And he keeps saying Mitch's name.
But what are you trying to distract him from?
I don't know.
You made the lady come out of the TV.
Is the lady the distraction? And then you're distracting from the distraction?
Like what layer of weird is, but so the whole thing is like that. And the whole sequence is weird. And then it only gets even weirder when the woman on top of him is an actual android who
a robot
who then the leprechaun shows up and he's like, hey,
with row tits.
I row bits. He's like, I'm going to electrocute you now. And then the robot electrocutes Mitch to death.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And then the loan sharks show up.
Yes. Now, this is the funniest thing to me.
Him trying to hide.
Because the leprechaun is just like kind of, he's been cucking it out like he did in the last movie.
Right, watching people bang.
He loves it. That's his thing. He loves shoes.
Yeah.
And he loves to watch people.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he's kind of like huddled up against the headboard.
Right.
And then the loan shark guys come in and they're just like, hey, what are you doing here? You're going to have to answer for this. Because Mitch's just corpse is in the middle of this bed now.
But it's when they walk in, he's like, the leprechaun is like, oh shit. And is like trying to sink into the bed. Like, don't look at me, don't look at me. And it's like, what are you doing? Why are you afraid of these guys?
I don't know. Because then immediately he attacks them with his shillelagh.
Yeah. Assumedly murdering them both.
Yeah. Because he takes the eye out of one of them and then he beats them both to death, I guess. Because I don't believe we see them again.
Yeah, they don't come back.
And so Scott, after his bite and the blood getting into the bite,
is starting to transform into a leprechaun.
Right.
He keeps seeing his reflection look like a leprechaun, like with like the kind of gross skin and like the teeth like black out. And he keeps like crouching and he's like, oh, my insides. And I swear the whole movie in the rewatch, I was waiting for them to shrink him.
Oh, yeah.
And like, that's why his insides hurt. It's because he was shrinking. That's what I was waiting for.
Huh. Yeah, they didn't go that far.
No, they did not.
But yeah, he's starting to speak in rhymes and with an Irish accent. He craves potatoes.
That's a funny bit. That's a funny bit it's a funny bit that immediately makes me want to punch the TV is because like, it's a funny bit because it's like, a woman walks up at the casino restaurant and is like, okay, here's your order of, and then it's every potato item that you could order.
Yeah.
Funny.
It's
fine.
it's Bubba listing off all the shrimp, but it's potatoes.
Yeah. It's harmless. And then he says this really gross, kind of inappropriate limerick at her.
Yeah.
And then she's like, let me guess, Metallica. And it's like, Okay, guys.
Yeah, what was the joke here?
Sharpie all of this out of your script. None of this is funny. None of this plays. Yeah. It's dated immediately. Just stop.
Just stop with the potato bit.
Just stop making these movies.
You can't do bits on bits.
Cut this movie. Stop making it. Put it on a shelf.
They did. A VHS shelf.
No, I'm saying
in a video store.
I'm saying to do a Batgirl to it.
And then 55,000 copies were sold in a year.
Insane. It had to have been word of mouth that people were like, you would not believe this fucking movie.
Not believe the robot.
A robot has sex. Yeah. That's what I wouldn't believe either. There's 1,000 things about this I wouldn't believe.
But yeah, Loretta then she has told Scott about Tammy and Mitch going off together. Mm-hmm. And so he goes to save her. And then he runs into Tammy in the elevator, who is distraught from what has happened to her. And so they then go back up to Mitch's suite, and they find him with the leprechaun. So actually, I don't think that the other guys have come in yet. I think it's after this.
Okay.
Because they go back up there, and then they find the leprechaun, and there's like a quick back and forth, and then Scott and Tammy escape. And that's when the other guys come in and he kills them.
Sure. Ultimately, where this leads to is who has the coin now?
Oh, yeah.
Loretta has the coin now.
Yes.
And she wishes to be beautiful.
And yes, Scott and Tammy run. This is one of those shots where they're running across the street.
Yeah.
And then they stop. And he's like, no, I mean, I'm real bad. And she's like, okay, I got to take you to the hospital. We'll catch back up to them.
Yeah. But they go to, or we cut to Loretta. And she's like, I wish I wasn't a giant fat piece of shit.
And it's like, well, you're not, Loretta.
I wish I wasn't a slovenly, homely, just disgusting harlot. And then the wish comes true, and her hair's shorter. And they don't have fake boobies on her.
Yeah. She's just wearing a form-fitting dress.
Yeah.
Of her actual body.
It's like almost no change at all.
Yeah.
And then the weird part is like she walks through the casino,
like the casino floor,
and she gets to the magician, and the magician's like, "Give me that fucking thing," and steals it from her. And she's like, "No, give it back." Yeah, you know what? Fine, I'm just gonna stand here and look in the mirror. And it's like, is it like all of these wishes are like? Is it like monkey paw wishes where they're all like damned?
I guess, but then the rules, they're playing fast and loose here because Mitch makes the wish and Tammy falls for him or whatever. Lusts for him. But then as soon as Loretta takes the coin, the spell is gone. But then Loretta makes her wish. She changes into a, sexy 20-year-old.
The Fozzie Bear takes the fucking coin and she doesn't change back.
No, nothing changes. And then she's just like, okay, well, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to look at myself in the mirror.
And then the leprechaun shows up. And says a bunch of really he calls her a slut.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
that, because that word caught me weird. Is he's like, you think you're a slut, so look at your butt, and it's like, what the fuck?
It's every like body part.
He might as well have been like, and if you think you're hot, wait till you see your twat, and it's like, no, leprechaun, stop. But
we are 1 second away from that happening.
Yeah. Her lips get really big, and her boobies get big, and her big old butt gets big.
Yeah, she gets a BBL
and a BLB and a BLT and a TLC. But all of the parts of her get big. And what's funny is that I had forgotten at this point that this is even kind of a horror movie. Right. I had completely forgotten because she's like walking and her butt gets stuck in the door frame. And I'm like, I wonder how this gets undone. Because I've forgotten.
Well, did you guess that she would explode?
No, and then
she would asplode.
But then you hear like the ripping sound, and it's like, oh, she's gonna pop, and then she does, and I was like, all right, that's pretty funny.
Yeah,
I like that.
Something I like. One of the weird things in this sequence, I think it's this sequence, is as the leprechaun shows up. Anytime we cut to him, like his shots, he's like gliding around the room. And he's not on anything. Like, we don't see him physically. It's not like
he's on something.
Well, yeah. But he's not like in the first movie, like we see all these different things that he rides. And we see him on a gurney later in this movie.
And he's like,
but he's literally just kind of just gliding around the room, and like he floats at one point, and you don't see, but he's clearly on something that rises behind this bed, but you don't see what he's standing on. And so it's like, is that a power that he has? I don't know.
He can teleport. I'm sure he can fly a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a tug of the flying. he goes, we meet up with the other leprechaun and they're in the hospital. And this is the most believable part of the entire film for me, if I'm being honest. They show up to the hospital and immediately all of the nurses and all of the lab techs and everybody that works at the hospital is like, ma'am, you need to get the fuck away from him. We need him in quarantine.
Yes.
He is obviously dying of a disease, probably contagious. Everyone get the fuck away. We need to figure out what's wrong with him.
Yes. The thing I did forget, and this is really quick, they don't go straight to the hospital. They go to the pawn shop first to look for answers. They find the pot of gold. The leprechaun shows up. They tussle. And then they run away. And I don't think with any explanation, she finds and grabs the medallion.
I think he sees it at one point. Oh, no, it's Scott sees it and freaks the fuck out. So she keeps it because he like almost hurts her. And it's so funny. He's like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. And he's like clearly dying. And she's like, it's fine, but don't let it happen again. And it's like, he didn't let it happen. That's what he just said to you. He just said, I don't know what's happening. I think I'm dying. And she's like, it's fine, but
don't do it on my watch.
Be better. Melania would say, be best. And he would say, I'm dying.
So then they do go to the hospital.
Yes. And then all that happens.
Yes. I do love that bit because there is a woman, because before that, it's like there's this moment where she's trying to get the like receptionist who's like on a phone call.
Not even yet.
No, yeah. She just puts the one finger up, just like, just 1 second.
Yeah.
But never a word.
But she puts the finger up and then the phone starts ringing. So she's like, ma'am. And she puts the finger up again and she takes the phone call and you don't ever hear a word that she says. It is such the visual gags in the hospital.
Yeah. Very
Because like they wheel him back. It's such a eye roll line, but it is also still relevant. So I figured I would mention it. Is the doctor gets Scott's attention and is like, because he's like screaming, like he's clearly like whatever's happening has reached a critical mass,
and his skin is discolored and it's like ridged. Not quite to the extent of the Warwick leprechaun.
There's also like something in his guts moving around.
Yes.
Like his body is clearly going through some sort of
metamorphosis,
like a mind flayer seromorphosis. Like he is changing into something terrible. And they do tests on him. Yes. And I do think this is funny.
Yeah, all these little visual gags.
Yeah, they go, all right, let's see his blood. And his blood is just like green beer.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the fuck? And he's like, okay, well, give me his, whatever spectrometer. I don't know the name of the test. But he holds up this big piece of graph paper and it's just a bunch of shamrocks that spell fuck you.
And he's like, okay, what about his EKG? Give me that.
And instead of a heartbeat, it's just like a little sprite of a leprechaun.
It looks like a stamp
doing a jig.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's funny.
And then they ask him at one point of like, do you have insurance, son?
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's the line that is like especially relevant today is he's like, son, I have a question for you. And your answer may determine life or death. Do you have health insurance? And it's like, okay, that's funny. Yep. I like that. I mean, I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
I want to be gone.
And then after doing all, the first round of tests, then they like look through his clothing and they find all the money that he has. And they're just like, we could run every test that we can. Now,
what I will say is that fine joke, way too long.
Yeah.
The coverage of these two is like, it's like a full 2 minutes of like, well, I think you can afford an MRI. Well, I think you can afford this. And look at all this money. And it's like the money would go to the hospital. The two of you were getting nothing.
Okay. But you say that. You say this is too many gags. But what if we intercut all of those gags with more gags of the leprechaun trying to hitch a ride to the hospital?
That is better.
Yeah. Yeah, we just cut back and forth we have the whole movie.
His little thumb up, and he's just like, he's like hopeful and then angry, and then hopeful and then angry as these cars drive past. It doesn't matter that that's 10 seconds.
Right.
I'd watch an hour of that. That should have been the movie.
Yeah.
A boner road trip comedy of the leprechaun and Scott hitchhiking as Scott turns into a leprechaun, and they got to get to an airport so they can get like they're in the middle of the desert, and they got to get to Vegas so they can get on a plane and fly to Dublin and be leprechaun brothers together.
Oh, okay.
Now that's the movie. It's all about family. It's a Fast and the Furious movie. Surprise.
It's good. But eventually, the leprechaun just like, he must have gotten a ride because he just moseys on in and he's in a little nurse outfit.
It's so fucking cute.
Yeah.
Because he's still got the goddamn hat on, but he put a fucking hairnet over the hat. And he walks in and he's like, and he's got like a little clipboard in his hand and he just walks in between the legs of two people standing at the door. And then he smirks at the camera. He's like, And it's just like, you did it.
Mm-hmm.
You snuck into a hospital. Why do you know what a hospital is? But you did it. You snuck in.
He could smell his way there because of the gold or whatever.
And then Tammy is sitting at the registrar's desk still.
Yeah.
And you hear over the loudspeaker, like, Tammy Lewis or whatever, come to the morgue.
Larson, I think is her last
And
name.
she begins to cry because Scott is dead.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she's being called to the morgue.
Oh.
Because Scott's last name isn't McCoy anymore. It's Dead Guy now.
Yeah.
When you die, your name changes to Dead Person.
Deceased.
Yeah. It's like, if I die, I would be Beans Dead Person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'd be Ross Dead Person.
Yeah.
Guys, I say Beans Morocco a lot, but never forget, Derek's name is Ross Bacon, ladies and gentlemen.
That is true.
The comedy stylings of Beans and Bacon.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the leprechaun does this little, poorly masked voice over the intercom, but she goes to the morgue.
And there's a guy who's been stabbed with a bunch of medical equipment.
Yeah.
Not a leprechaun kill at all. There's no whimsy about that.
No.
He's just been stabbed with scissors and forceps and a scalpel and all kinds of horrible things to be stabbed to death with.
And then the leprechaun pops up from underneath like a sheet on a gurney.
Right.
And he throws her like onto an operating table or like I guess what they would do
autopsy or whatever, yeah.
And he like latches her down to that.
Mm-hmm.
And he begins threatening to like cut her nose off if she doesn't give him the coin.
He says something to the effect of like, I'm gonna cut your front half off.
Yeah.
And it's like, what does that mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
Why not say I'm gonna stab you?
Nah.
Okay.
He just did that to that guy.
Yeah, okay.
He's not gonna do it to her.
It is his style sometimes, but not all the time. Understood. Okay.
But then Scott, now fully transformed into a leprechaun, he uses his powers
to cut himself free. With like a rotary saw.
Yeah. And then he bursts into the morgue and they have a leprechaun magic fight for a second.
As he is escaping from these doctors before he meets up in the morgue, I will say, I think all that's kind of clever as well. It's like he uses laughing gas, like a laughing gas, like oxygen mask to knock the main doctor out. And the main doctor falls forward with a needle that sticks into the butt of another nurse that was going to put him under with like anesthesia or whatever. That's a good little bit of action. Yeah. And then a terrible bit of action because he gets down to the morgue and this is just terribly shot.
Yeah. And
Scott is way too far away. There's way too much stuff in front of him.
Yeah. Well, and it's almost as if this isn't an actual morgue. It's like if it was a kitchen in like a hotel
where a Kennedy was perished.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
That would be crazy. What?
It was.
Oh my God.
Just like that's not a real pawn shop. That's the same place as this.
What?
Everything's fake in Hollywood, baby.
Is
Hollywood. It isn't Vegas. It is Hollywood.
Scott tells the leprechaun that Fazio has the coin. I don't know how he knows that necessarily.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Unless he can just feel it now that he's a leprechaun. But why wouldn't the leprechaun also be able to feel it? I don't know. But Tammy uses the medallion then.
I'm sorry. You're right. I have no idea. I'm racking my brain. Please continue. Yes, she has a medallion.
And so she uses it to like drive the leprechaun away. And then he just like slowly rolls away on the gurney.
And he flips them off as he goes.
Yes. Which brings us to our finale.
The best part of the movie, which isn't a huge statement because it's still fine, but it's chaotic.
Oh, yeah.
The Fazimandius.
The great Fazio.
Sure. He says, whatever, Fajolis. I don't care. I can say whatever the fuck I want. It's my show.
Yeah.
But he goes, I wish I was.
Yeah. How dare you pronounce his name wrong?
That was a gunshot. I shot him. He's like, I wish that I was the greatest magician in the world. And so then when we cut to his show now,
he looks like your grandfather.
He's so sick of you. He just texted me to tell you to fuck off. No, but he's in like the space age, like weird costume. Yeah. But the crowd is everybody's paying attention. Nobody's talking. Everybody's super enthralled with what he's doing. He's got like a member from the audience, and he puts them into like this casket, and everybody's like, "Wow!" And then out from the casket pops the leprechaun, and everyone's, but he's in a cape.
Yeah. I love this.
Yeah, he's in a cape. And then
it's like bedazzled. And even his hat like has like stars and moons and stuff around it that shine.
It's so cute. And so then Father Magiccio is like, da-da, and then the fucking leprechaun's like, da-da, and then they're having like a magician grandstanding like pose off at each other. Oh my God, it's so fucking funny.
It is very funny. Like a lot of this movie, it's like, oh, this should have been the movie. It's just having a magic off.
Yeah, a magic fight.
Yeah.
Like the leprechaun joins a council of magicians and they can't figure out why his tricks are so good. But it's because he's actually magic.
Oh, man. See? But that would have been like better for Leprechaun 2 whenever they were in LA. He could have gone to the Magic Castle.
Yeah. The sphere.
I don't know if they would have let him in the
They could have done the sphere
door.
here.
Yeah.
Played a Luxor.
They could have.
He could have Siegfried and Royed somebody. And by that, I mean bit a lifelong friend and trainer. No, but so then he goes, the leprechaun's like, da-da! And then all of a sudden, Fazio is in his own saw in half trick.
Yes.
And the leprechaun, he's got a chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to Bubba Sawyer it up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because Caroline Williams.
Yeah.
That's our connection with the chainsaw. There
Thank
it is.
you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like, the audience is just kind of eating this up, thinking that the whole thing is just part of the act.
Because like as he saws through the box, the Fazio's like, okay, here's the coin. I'm sorry, I'll do whatever you want. Just please. I wish I was somewhere else. And he's like, everybody only. It's like Peter Griffin and Spider-Man. It's like everybody only gets one.
Yeah.
And then, he saws him in half and like blood is shooting everywhere and it's like coming out of his mouth. And the crowd is like, yeah.
Yeah. Cause like there are, the sawing a lady in half is like the oldest trick in the, stage magician's book. But there are ones that like, I want to say, Chris Angel has probably done that before where he's like laid on his own table and he's like been cut in two and he has like blood and guts kind of spray out and then he splits in two. And so it's like that sort of thing's been done before, but it's funny still to see it here.
Yeah. But then the leprechaun jumps down and is like, and everyone's like, yay. And then he rolls one half of it away. And it's like
intestines like roll out.
And like the skin is like splitting where it hasn't cut all the way. And everyone's like, ah! And then fucking Scott runs out, who also just looks terrifying at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And he runs out. He looks like
you never go full leprechaun.
He looks like one of the Geico cavemen got a little bit of green paint on him.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
And he runs out and he's like, everybody get out of here. This man's insane. And they're all like, fuck. And then the leprechaun uses telekinesis and just picks somebody up and flings them across the room. If ever there was a point for a Wilhelm scream.
Oh, yeah. That's what this movie's missing.
Yeah. It's just that one. It's so good.
But they couldn't pay the rights for that.
No.
But yeah,
you can't do that gorilla style.
No, you couldn't have somebody just kind of like try and do it into a microphone.
Now, if it were the home improvement noise and I had been on that set, I had gone, but I wasn't there.
Right.
I was 1 year old and saw this in theaters.
Your first.
My mom was like, well, he seemed to enjoy the first one.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Or I guess it was
the second one.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah. And the bit is you went to the second one.
Okay, fine.
And then you definitely followed it up with this one because you loved that one.
Loved it. I grew up to hate them later on, but I loved it when I was a wee lad.
Well, because they're perfect for kids.
Yeah. They got a little guy.
Yeah.
He does magic.
Yeah. They've got, especially with like the women who take their tops off.
Yeah.
These are great films for kids.
Great films.
Show them to your kids, guys. These movies, not the other things. And the whole audience is just like stampeding out of there.
Yeah.
And just crashing into shit in the casino.
But then it's time for our final leprechaun face down.
Yeah, and there's not much to.
No,
it's like they don't do more of the magic fighting.
No, he destroys the gold.
Yeah,
like the flamethrower.
Well, I do like that. It's like this hard cut of like the leprechaun is gonna. I think it's gonna do so. Oh, because Tammy finds the coin and she's about to make a wish, and he like tears her jacket away And so it knocks the coin out of her hand and she's just kind of like stuck there in place.
Right.
And he's like, oh, you're not going to do that. And I'm going to peel you like a grape.
Which is, again, another instance of him being like, give me your skin.
Yeah. Yeah. He wants her skin for some reason.
Now, to quote Dennis Reynolds, the skin is the most interesting part of an animal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But then as he's like doing that, then we just like look over and Scott is standing there with the flamethrower on.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you're not. And
And then the leprechaun's like, I'm all right. I feel all right. I want to go back inside. It's like, no, Wilford Brimley. You got to stay here in your little
Warwick Brimley. The leprechaun ends up like offering Scott his pot of gold. And there is this, he's like, come to the green side.
Yeah.
And did you notice that the music that plays underneath is like a Muzak version of like the Imperial March from Star Wars?
No, I did
like,
not notice
it is
that.
very like
That's
right
funny.
in that line of Star Wars.
That's funny.
But yeah, Scott refuses and just sets this pot of gold on fire.
Yeah.
Which then causes the leprechaun to also burst into flame.
But then again, it's like the dimensions are completely different when the dummy falls down to the ground because they burnt up a dummy. But it looks like, it looks like it went from Warwick Davis, who is a little person, to a children's clothing store mannequin that they set on fire and then threw on the ground.
Well, yeah. And the funniest thing to me is that he's on they must have gotten a stunt double for part of this, obviously.
I'm sure.
Because it's like, because I think he's thrashing around. I don't know.
I'm talking about at the very end when it's like, clothes.
But I just think it's hilarious. They have him on like a pulley basically. And he's like flying around the room, but he's completely engulfed in flames.
Yeah.
And you can clearly see the harness and the cable that he's in.
Because who gives a shit?
Right.
At this point, who cares? This is what our script says, so who cares? The script even says, show the harness and the cable. We have nothing left to lose. But
the only truth in this art.
He's a pile of cinders. Now, I do have a problem with this.
Okay.
Scott burns the gold.
Right.
And it says in the computer game from the beginning of this that a leprechaun's power is drawn from his gold, and that when there's no more gold, there's no more leprechaun.
Right.
So then the leprechaun is dead. Our heroes embrace and they kiss. And I think that's funny because she looks like she's going to throw up.
Right.
Because she is clearly not attracted to this man. And he was very attracted to her.
Yes.
And you could tell that. But then they leave and they walk out the front door of the Lucky Shamrock Casino. And she goes, well, I've got this, and holds up one of the gold pieces. And it's like, is this like the Pirates of the Caribbean law? Like, is he still alive then? Because there's a gold piece left.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is what we run into at the end of every one of these movies so far is like, we watch him die, but he's going to come back somehow, and it's not going to be related in any way to how he died in the one previous.
Now, I do not remember this. I don't know if you remember how he comes back in the next one.
Do not.
I don't either.
I don't know how we get to space.
Guys, leave a comment and tell us what you guess is how he gets back. You got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Let us know.
But yeah, she has that gold coin.
And then she's like, I'm going to make a wish. And then she looks at his gangly, shitty face.
Yeah.
And she goes, you know what?
Now he has turned back into his human form.
Oh, it's worse like that. When he's a human, even his eyebrows are weak. And she's like, you know what? I've got everything I need right here. And she flicks the coin and you hear it splash like into a sewer.
Oh, you don't think it's a fountain? They're in Vegas outside of the
that would make more sense. I just pictured it going into like a manhole.
Just immediately into a sewer.
Okay, to my defense, the leprechaun shits in someone's hand out of his penis in this film.
According to him.
Why would he lie?
He's never lied to us before.
It's like he doesn't. It's what's more probable is that shit isn't real because leprechauns don't shit. He just picked it up from outside, but he wanted it. So he's like, oh, yes, I shit it out of me, shillelagh. And it's like, you shit out of your dick? He's like, don't you?
Oh man, I didn't think you'd question me on this. I just was doing a rhyming scheme.
You shit on your dick? What's a dick? This leprechaun got a pussy? That's out of this world, man. That's crazy.
It's gonna be out of this world.
Oh God.
I want to be dead. We've ended so many episodes like that.
I want to be dead. Yeah. Well, we are in the thick of it. You are the one who wrote this schedule, and you're the one that's like, oh yeah, super early in the year.
It's gonna be fine.
Sure.
Come on. We just entered March. It's the Leprechaun's time.
This is our month. This is our March Madness.
Yes.
It's not college basketball. Our March Madness is watching things that make us slip further and further away from a grippable sanity.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this.
Yes.
Do you recommend Leprechaun 3?
I did have less fun with this time. Like even less fun than the first two. But I'm thinking about how bad this gets.
Yeah.
Or how bad it might get at the very end of it. I would recommend this in if you've got 90 minutes to kill and you want a dumb little harmless movie to watch.
Okay.
Fine.
Sure.
But it's you don't really need any of these for to be a completist.
Yeah.
Because none of them really take the other ones into account, or at least they haven't so far. Now remember, this was supposed to be the end of a trilogy.
Right. How?
I don't know.
That would be like if in Back to the Future 3, instead of going back to old Wild West, they went back to old Cold War era Russia.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Cold War is in the 80s, but you know what I mean. It's like if they didn't just go back in time, they went back in time, but then they were on a different planet. It's like, wait, what? How does this have anything to do with? And it's not Doc Brown. It's Rick, I guess. Yeah. Like a Rick and Morty situation.
Yeah, but not Morty from Leprechaun 2.
No. That's a different guy.
Yeah, who was like a Doc Brown type.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in that way,
okay.
I guess I would kind of recommend it.
Sure.
But it's not scary.
No.
It's just kind of silly fun.
Yeah, it just kind of exists in between.
There's plenty of gags. And we've recommended things and we've watched things that have plenty of gags, but it's I would choose Gremlins 2 and Army of Darkness 100% of the time over this.
Oh yeah, big time. Well, and that's the thing is it feels very much like Gremlins 2, but the difference is Gremlins 2 is written by somebody who is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Gremlins 2 is directed by somebody with good comedic timing and a good sense of fun. This feels like it was trying to be that by people who don't know how to do that. It feels manufactured. None of it feels intrinsically valuable. It all feels cringy.
Yes.
It's a cringy facsimile of actual deserved and well-earned funny comedic moments.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so with all of that, do you recommend?
The only people that I would recommend this to are people that like the what are those? You mentioned them earlier. Asylum films. People that like movies that are really they C movies, B movies that are because and we've talked about this on this show, but I don't like a movie that's bad on purpose.
Right.
I will watch a movie that is unintentionally bad and enjoy myself, laugh at it or whatever.
Sasquatch, yeah.
This feels like this was made to be bad. This feels like a movie that went out of its way to push the envelope into stupid and weird Looney Tunes bits. And again, it's that guy. Everyone's got one of these people in their lives. Hopefully I'm not that person to too many people. The guy who thinks they are funny and no one else does. And so when they make jokes and shit, it's not like when the guy who is funny is on a roll and making everybody laugh. And then that guy comes in and he's like, yeah, but what about? And everyone's like, you've ruined the good faith that we just had in this conversation. It's all gone. And that's what this feels like, is an awkward joke followed by an awkward silence. So if you guys like movies that are kind of bad on purpose, you might enjoy this one. But if not, if you avoid the Troll 2 Sharknado of it all, I don't recommend this.
Yeah. It's kind of tough. But under those stipulations,
I also definitely don't recommend anybody who isn't a specific ethnicity to put on makeup to look like that ethnicity and then do a physical and vocal performance to act like that. I don't recommend that.
Yeah, we do not recommend that.
Yeah,
at all.
We recommend no Al Jolson or
definitely not
anything like that.
No.
Black and brown face, we don't recommend.
Bad idea. Oh man, I'm just thinking. Like the whole thing takes place in Vegas. We were talking about like my time in Vegas off the top.
Mm-hmm.
What happens in Vegas is supposed to stay in Vegas. Guys, forget everything that we have just said, please.
Why are there so many police cars outside?
Thanks for tuning into the Third Channel podcast. Please, if you have the time, rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any of your favorite podcast apps. You can follow us on social media at Third Channel Podcast, and you can find me online at @DRosenberg. You can also reach out to us at thirdchannelpodcast@gmail.com, where we check every message, we swear. Third Channel is hosted by PJ Minette and Derek Rosenberg. Theme song and audio engineering by Fly Guy Ty. The logo designed by Belle DeVell Co. Episode artwork by Nathan Walkington. Keep it tuned right here to the Third Channel for all things horror. And remember, don't touch that dial.
Egg salad and eggs.